Hey, everybody, welcome to the JRPG Pursuit, a very special episode. This is not your regular JRPG Pursuit podcast. This is actually our very first Spoilercast. So if this showed up on like a random rotation of videos or audio podcasts for you, and you are not looking to be spoiled for the video game Trails Beyond the Horizon, I'm going to give you a minute to get on out of here because we are going to go in depth into Trails Beyond the Horizon. Nothing is off the table. We will be talking about the story, the characters, the combat, the ending. You hear me? Oof. The ending. And so get ready for that. It's going to be intense. And we couldn't handle it by ourselves. So as you can see, we have a couple of wonderful guests with us today. They've both appeared on the show in the past, but separately. So now we're bringing them together to create a sort of Trails dream team. And I'd like to introduce them to you today. We have Cam and we have Mags with us. Cam, Mags, thank you guys both so much for joining us. And why don't you just take a minute, tell us a little bit about yourselves. Cam, of course, a part of the party chat. No, party chat. I almost said level up legacy. I almost said level up legacy. Oh, no. And then I pulled it back, and then I just lost it.
You're like
Party Chat Podcast, and Mags.
He slowly
level
falls
up
off
legacy.
The recording.
I just slide out of my chair
to the floor, liquid.
I just listened to an episode of Party Chat. I don't know what anyway.
He's justifying.
Thank you both so much for joining us. And tell us a little bit about yourselves, what you do on the internet, your shows, and whatever else you want to tell us. Go for it.
Let's give it to Cam first.
Yeah.
Just to
what Brandon said.
Make up for that.
Make up for that, that atrocity.
My name's Cameron Hawkins. Cam's fine as well. And I'm one of the hosts over at Party Chat, a JRPG podcast. And I am a huge Trails fan, huge Kingdom Hearts fan. I know that last time I was on the pod, which was a while ago, I mentioned that I was in the process of writing a book on Kingdom Hearts. That is still happening. Because I saw some people in the comments on hey, is there any update on this? And I'm like, yep, it's happening still. So it'll come out when it comes out, though. Don't worry about that. But outside of that, I try at least to still be a freelance writer in the games media space. But that whole side of the industry is also on the brink of collapse. It's that's me.
That's
Welcome. Maggie?
Yeah, I'm Mags. I'm a co-host on the Level Up Legacy podcast with Slam Zaney and Retro Brandon. We talk about JRPGs every week. Super fun show. And I also write for Nintendo Force Magazine, which is a print magazine in the year of our Lord 2026. So it's great. It covers all things Nintendo. A super great team there, and it's really a joy to be a part of that staff and write for them. So yeah, and also just a huge Trails fan. So thank you for letting me come on and discuss Trails Beyond the Horizon. I'm super excited to just kind of get into it and see what we all think about it. So good stuff.
Excellent. Thank you both for being here. Glad we were able to make the scheduling work out. I know it's tricky coordinating, especially we're all so busy. Everybody's got so many things going on. So really appreciate you guys taking the time. We figured probably the best way to start would be to just kind of...
Brandon, forgot to introduce us.
Oh.
I mean, nobody cares. Everybody knows us.
You would think that I haven't hosted hundreds of podcasts.
Brandon's pulling an Abdallah.
Oh, no.
That's something I would do.
I think
this is
here's what happened, everybody. Here's what happened. Everybody. I'm gonna keep this all in because like a puppy who piddles on the floor, you got to rub my nose in it a little bit. I think the problem is I over prepared a little bit. Like I wrote too many. I never write notes. I never outline. I never do any of this stuff. And so I did all that today. I wrote all the stuff down, and now I'm like
proud of you.
I put it all out of my head already. It's on the paper, and I'm not looking at it.
That's right.
Hi, I'm Brandon.
And what do you do?
I don't know. I don't even know what I do. I co-host this podcast. which is something. What is it called? Trails Pursuit. The JRPG Pursuit.
The JRPG Pursuit, I believe. Maybe.
And I have a YouTube channel called Just the Gems.
Yeah. And my name is Dalla, from Dalla Games, and from this podcast, the JRPG Pursuit, where we talk about all sorts of things. But I tend to forget all of them. So there we go. Pass that on to.
And then I'm Emily. I'm a co-host on the JRPG Pursuit podcast here, as well as my own channel, Orbitology. And we are all in this room Trails fans. So very excited to talk about Trails Beyond the Horizon here. So I
thought this was the roast of the JRPG Pursuit Trails.
Yes!
By the way,
Yes!
I can see why you might. I can see why you might think that from the.
That's
way
what I was
this
told I was
introduction.
going to be doing here.
I think I got that memo too, Cam. Maybe we're in the wrong
Yeah.
place.
I think. I mean, let's let it rip, right?
Let's
let
go.
It
Let it
Let's
rip.
go.
No, I think
We can sprinkle in some of those as we go.
I think there's a lot in
Please.
this game in general that like very much our opinions are going to be based off of like certain parts of the whole series at large. So I think we're going to get into that naturally as we talk about the game. So
yeah,
Sure.
I feel
There's a
like
lot.
when this game initially came out in Japan, right, everyone was hyping it up, saying this is going to be the best Trails game ever. Just you wait. So I'd love to hear what everyone thinks now that we've all beaten it and had, a couple weeks to stew on it. Do you guys think it's the best Trails game ever?
no.
No.
It's
I
up
said
there.
that sounded rude. That sounded rude. I do like I like this game a lot. I don't dislike any
yeah, I
Trails
love this game.
and I like
Yeah.
this
I
don't-
game a lot.
I like it
Yeah,
too,
I would-
but it's not the best. And I don't think it like cracks like my top 3 at all.
No.
I think
So-
it's.
Oh.
I think
Yeah.
it's in my top 3. It may be
Okay.
number 3. Yeah, it may be number 3. But ask me again on a different day, and I might
I know,
have a different
it-
order.
yeah,
It
it
just
changes.
depends.
That my
And we've
top
got-
2 are
Yeah.
always the same. But like
Oh,
anything
yeah.
beyond that is tough to
Is
know.
up for grabs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and then SC, a second chapter coming out later this year. I mean, that's
That's
gonna
gonna be
the
number
whole
one.
thing.
That's
gets
gonna
thrown up
dethrone
in
it
the air
all.
again.
That's going to
Dethrone it
dethrone
all.
everything.
Yeah.
And I just
Crown
want to
that I'm putting on
say,
its head.
like, there's been a lot of people who were just like, I don't want the second chapter remake. Like, I want the Horizon sequel. And I'm like, can we just let second chapter remake have its time, please?
We can
Let
we
it
can
shine.
have all of them. We can have all of them, everybody.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Guys,
Yes.
there's nothing wrong with that.
I just
No
had to
rush.
say that because I feel I've seen like so much of that online, and I'm like, please stop.
Yeah, I've seen the same discourse, and I can understand why some people are frustrated, especially if they, went ahead and played the Japanese release instead of the
Sure.
localized version. And the wait can be a little killer, especially when we get into the details about the ending. But I'm just so happy we're getting these remakes. We're getting more people interested in, the games themselves. The Sky games are getting wonderful treatment and finally being accessible on all platforms. It's a time to celebrate, really.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if you look at like first chapter remake, and then you think about how amazing second chapter is as a game, why wouldn't you be hyped for that remake? Like that remake is going to be incredible.
Yeah,
It is.
I think it's
but
going to be the best Trails game.
I think
At
it probably
least for
will
me.
too.
Yeah.
We did a tier ranking list of all the Trails games on our couple of podcast episodes ago, and we did kind of say like we're pretty sure Trails and Sky second chapter is going to be number 1 here, but we did still rank Horizon S tier.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
I think that just
I would
speaks to
agree
how
with that.
highly we think of it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. I think despite
and
its like issues that we've all found in the game, it still brings a lot to the table. And also
It turns some things on their head, right? About some
Yeah.
things we thought, the direction that the series was going. And then they're like, no, actually, this is what happened. Or this is what we're going to be seeing now.
yeah.
So
I know.
Yeah, I think it shows. I think the past few years, honestly, have kind of shown that like if they bring these games to the West and treat them well, like there's an audience here. Like there's a substantial audience here. Like it's not obviously Call of Duty level or whatever. Nothing is, but there's a good audience here that Falcom can benefit from. So I think like they've started to realize that. I think beginning with when they brought over the Crossbell games, finally, right?
Yeah.
It's like they started an avalanche of Trails that we have not been able to get out from under.
yeah,
Like,
those
and I
sold
don't
out
think we
so
will.
quickly.
Yeah.
And it's only gone, up from there, I think.
Yeah. So
But back to Horizon,
our general thoughts. Well, let's just our overall kind of your impressions and big picture stuff. Why don't we start with you, Mags? Like Beyond the Horizon. Lay it on us.
So I'll have to say, I just want to admit, when I found out that this game was going to have 3 guys as the leads, I was already kind of like, are we really getting another Trail Sausage Fest? Like, I just don't. But I will say, I was happy to be proven wrong because I do really love how the game has those 3 different perspectives of Van, Reen, and Kevin. And I think it was very intentional as far as like showing like their affiliation with the groups that they're in and like why those were important and why to have those 3 present in this game as they started to learn more about what's going on. I thought that was really cool. So they redeemed themselves with that. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, I overall really enjoyed it. I thought that it drove the series forward like way more than the past couple of games that we've had. And I finally felt like I saw the intention of the Calvert arc, which I think we needed. I think they needed to do that. Not that Daybreak 2 was a bad game. It just kind of felt like there wasn't a whole lot of story momentum there. And this game made up for it. So that was great to see. I just thought overall it was a really good step forward. I have a few issues with it and we can get into those, but I think overall, like this was a very strong game. And I think it's the strongest game in the Calvert arc. And it's got me excited to see what they have planning or what they have planned for the next one and how they're going to like close out this arc and then even like in the series. So yeah, it's interesting you mentioned the Trail Sausage Fest thing because I remember back when they first revealed the game initially, they showed Major Amelia, and people were like, "Oh, is she going to be the new main character?" And there was a lot of excitement around that. And then they're like, "No, it's the same dudes." I was one of those people that was excited, and I'm like, I know this is a dumb thing to think because, like, of course it's not going to be her.
She looks like your typical.
She is a main. Cool. She's got main character energy,
and I love her. Like,
if they do this game. We'll talk more about this as we get to the future of the series. But like, if they do a 5th Calvert game, because they said they're not 100% sure, like, and it's like more of a Reverie or Sky the Third type of game. I would love to have her as like the protag of that. I think that would be super cool.
I think my issue was like, if you're going to do like routes where there's more than one lead, like why can't just one of them be a female character? We have so many like great, amazing women in the Calvert cast. Like, I just don't think it's a big ask. But I will say like Reen and Kevin and Van, like the way they told that story is great. So I don't want to criticize that. It's just, I would have loved to see a gal get her own route.
It's more of a missed opportunity than a failure of storytelling, right?
Yeah, like I imagine like why they chose Kevin and Reen, like Reen because he's the poster boy right now, but also because of how he the whole 8 Leaves kind of thing, how that's the implications for that the future games. Very interesting to see that kind of grow, develop, but also how Shizuna is kind of related into that.
They're like
dimension.
2 halves of a whole, essentially.
Exactly.
So
and
how that's going to play out
her
is going to be cool. And I didn't know that. I mean, going into the game, you don't know that. And so it actually makes the Reen route feel very validated. So totally.
Makes you wonder, like, why wasn't Shizuna maybe the lead? But I guess she's still supposed to be cloaked to mystery. We're not supposed to know too much about her just yet.
But she has some great character development in this game. Like,
she
much
does.
needed.
Totally.
Much needed.
That was needed.
Yes.
Like,
Agreed.
I love her now. And I did not like her in the first game.
Before I thought she was just weird, like a weird gremlin. I'm like, you're kind of weird, but okay.
Those Connect events did some heavy lifting for her in this game, I have to say.
All the connecting events really, like, they should have been more emphasized. I know this is a major criticism, I think, for Horizon in particular, that a lot of the connecting events were not like, main story beats. But at least they make them accessible, like you could actually watch them all without having to replay the game.
Yes. Or
very smart
Scum
edition.
Save Scum, like, all the time. So,
Yeah. I do appreciate that a lot.
And then learning more about the church too, the connections with, Van's mentor, how that all kind of, lays the foundation there, because the church has always been kind of cloaked in mystery, despite, having Kevin as a protag in Sky the Third. So I'm glad that's being more elaborated now in the Calvert arc.
And Ray Chase absolutely killed it as Kevin.
Yes.
I loved that. I loved his take on the character.
Kevin's my favorite routes. by far.
Yeah.
Kevin's amazing.
Yeah, I think his routes are my favorite for sure.
Yeah,
I was just
also the supporting
this guy's
cast.
back. He's great.
With Rufus and the other people from Reverie.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
their
And
dynamic was
Nadia
just so
humbling
fun.
him every minute. Was
Nadia
so
and
good.
Swin. I love them.
Yeah, me too. They're awesome.
Yeah.
So, Cam, your thoughts overall?
Overall, man, I should be prepared for this, but I'm not. I think
all right.
ultimately,
It's hard
None
to
of
put
us
it
are
into
prepared.
words sometimes.
Yeah,
honestly.
I
Like
think-
I was having trouble.
I think ultimately the things that I walked away really high on, I still feel very high on, if not higher. And the things that I like take issue with, I take even like more issue with as time has passed on. I think that obviously like the ending is incredible, and like one of the comments that you guys made was like how you guys felt about Horizon like at the end of it, and like I obviously felt like, wow, like what a great payoff to like playing through this series so far, not just the Calvert arc but the entire series so far. But I don't think like my thought process was kind of similar to when I finished like second chapter Azure, which are like my 1 and 2, where I was like what a journey like this specific game was, or this specific like arc was. I just didn't feel that at the end. This felt like more big, like complete big picture stuff. And one of the games that's gonna have to do that just because they're trying to wrap things up, right? So maybe I'll feel that way after the next game and how that finishes. But I think that the ending in this game, like the last 2 hours, even though I do agree, I think this is my favorite game in the Calvert arc. I think those last 2 hours do a lot of heavy lifting for me.
Yeah.
Where I think that there's certain characters in like the party that I feel like didn't really have a lot to do in this game.
Yeah.
And
that's fair.
and so they were kind of just like there the entire time. Like like Judith like had some stuff, mainly because we were in her hometown, right, for a part of the game.
We met her mom.
Judith got decent representation this time around. She's kind of been lackluster.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like her character developed at all. It was just more like, oh, we get to learn more about Judith, but like I didn't feel like a push in her character development.
Yeah,
or anything
she's
like
just
that.
quirky and relatable. I think that's about it.
I
Quirky and
just
relatable
don't
is a
know
good way.
like how far she has to go. Like for her, like
Yeah.
I think that just might be who she is. Not to say
may
they
not
couldn't
be.
be more interesting with like her like storyline. I just wonder if like
She's just a
who
movie
she
star,
is.
right, guys? I don't know what else.
Yeah.
A Catwoman.
Just a Catwoman and
Just
movie star.
Catwoman.
Yeah.
And that's just fine. I think that's great.
I love her, honestly. I just think she's just so like real. And she's
Yeah.
like Calvert's
just
best
so
girl
funny.
failure. Like I just
Oh yeah.
Best girl
Yeah.
failure. I love it.
I don't know. Like, when I think about other casts, like, even though that some are like, maybe some members are like ultimately going to be weaker than others, I just feel like all we know is that she is like, she's the Phantom Thief or whatever, and she's a movie star, and she's a little dopey. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think she's like the comic relief. I think
Yeah,
that
yeah.
A lot of the
She
time,
does fill that role a lot. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I'm not trying to. This isn't the Judith show, because I actually feel more strongly about Fairy in this game. About like the amount of times I just hear her say "to mom" and that's it. Like it's like
I know.
we're gonna do this to mom, and then
To
that's
mom.
it. It's like give me something
Yeah.
else, Fairy. I need more character stuff from you.
I do feel like they've hinted at stuff for Fairy. We'll get into later, but it did seem like Fairy had more of a role in the prior.
Yeah, like,
I
I think she
agree.
actually had.
Yes.
She
Yeah.
did have some pretty great stuff in Daybreak too. Like
Right. Yeah.
but and then they mention like kind of how she's still kind of dealing with that like being controlled and stuff, and it's just like okay, but like I need more, like give me a bit more. And because I just think we're at a point now in the game where like this last game we're wrapping things up, right? It's going to be very like Van, and if there are other main protagonists like routes, it's going to be the them show, because we're trying to and this is going to be the them show because that we're trying to wrap things up. And so I just feel like there's a lot of potential opportunities here that are ultimately may not work out. Because I do really like the Calvert arc because it is a lot more mature. But then I just think that there's like certain members in the cast that's just like, it feels like, why are you ultimately here in a real way? Where I feel like that in other instances, like, you know, other arcs, I just feel like everyone plays a role in what's going on in the main story, and they have like the connections that make everything make sense. I'm not saying that Fairy and Judith don't have that, but I just wish that we got a little bit more. Like when we look at like Rosette,
I think they've been teasing
Rosette has
us.
gotten so much love, and I love that.
Yeah, she really did in this game.
And so that's one thing. And I just
Can we elaborate though more on that one thing? I just want to say for Fairy, I do think they've been teasing us, you know, with her role with the vestiges. And I'm pretty sure the vestige that she thought she knew who it was, I think that's her future self.
I do too. And I'm
Yes.
so
Good
glad
theory.
you thought
Really?
that. I think it's her.
Never thought that.
That's what I was
And I'm
thinking
pretty
too.
sure they're
I
building
think
up
it's
on
her.
that.
I think a few of them are alternate versions of people that exist in the main cast, especially the ones that we see in Kevin's route at the end where they're like, oh man, like we should have done better. And we're sorry that we messed up because this is happening. Like, but I had that same thought.
So that's
when,
the
like,
big kind of big picture thing that I wanted to talk about today. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so many implications for future games because of this, that they give you breadcrumbs, I think.
Yeah.
Which I like to do.
I totally think that's Fairy. I'm so glad you thought that. Because immediately I was like, that has to be her because her older self is looking at her.
They're trying to cast it like, you know, her mentor or whatever from the past, but no, it wasn't her.
That's who I thought it was. That's who I thought it was.
I think it's Fairy in the future because they talked
about
it.
I like that more.
That it was her up until the end,
There you go.
Because if you think about it, she's using the gun that she received.
Future gun. Something that's beyond, you know, technology at that time point. So she's obviously from the future.
And it kind of reminds me of the gun her mentor
it's like
had.
the next form of Fairies.
Exactly.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, there's so much cool stuff.
Y'all are cooking.
We're coming into this hot.
We need like a pan. Where is it?
That's why I need to stop. Like, Cam, I think Fairy's onto something.
I think
I think
right.
that's true.
Judith, though, I don't know if she'll ever have anything bigger because I think her role as like, you know, that lineage of the Phantom Thief, they might expand upon that, but I'm not really sure. They might not do too much.
I think it's
they definitely
more about
gave her
legacy.
grandmother a lot more.
Yeah. I think it's more about like Dominique and how her family legacy has kind of been
interwoven
with what the larger plot was and what the whole like plan was.
And then Judith was probably going to have to step up.
Yes. Yeah. And I think like once
to fill that.
I think in the next game, whenever she realizes and like can have time to think about what Dominique like did. Like in that entire plan, like that's where we're going to get some development from her because she's going to be like, Grammy, what were you thinking? Like,
Grammy. I think so.
Yeah, it's
and because we saw some things with Grammy, you know, taking Inez, you know, at the end there to the tower. So there's obviously some things they're setting up.
Yeah, and I do wonder, Cam, though, I totally get where you're coming from with like there not being as much development because I think when you do route system and you have 3 parties, it's hard to make sure that like every single character in all of those parties gets the time that they deserve. And I do think that is a flaw in this game. Like certain characters suffer because there's just so many characters that they have to fit in different places. And I don't know if all of them were necessarily like necessary to be there. So
even in the absence of a route system,
had the most absence.
I think Daybreak 1 suffered a little bit too, even though that was like the introduction of these characters. Like, there's just too many characters and not enough
time. Loaded, right? I think
the cast
coming from Cold Steel, they had so many characters left and right. They felt like they needed a big party off the bat, so you could slowly learn about them. But I think that could also be a detriment. It's maybe too long to learn about them.
They had so many that they were able to make meta jokes in this game about how many characters there were in Reverie. So, like, they're very aware. But Cam,
they're still doing it.
We
sorry not to I didn't want to derail or anything. I just wanted to elaborate some thoughts I had.
Yeah, and my other big thing that I'm just kind of more curious about than it's like a criticism is I wonder how the game would have felt structurally if it was structured more a la either like Cold Steel 4 or Reverie, where it wasn't like a route system per se, but like it was more like, hey, we're just going to jump to this character at this point in the story. Because like, you know, y'all know I'm not the biggest. I'm not a huge Reen guy, right? I'm not a huge Reen guy, and it was like nice seeing those characters come back and interact. But when I think about things that like directly involve the plot of like what's going on in that route, there wasn't a lot. It was like testing the Excalibur, learning a bit more about Project Startaker that way, and then like the very end of the when he's like meeting Master Kun-Fi, like
Yun Kun-Fi,
Yun Kun-Fi. I was like, that was kind of all I got from Reen's
That
route.
was a revelation there.
Oh, and then the when they were at the
space.
when they looked at the telescope.
What they saw in space.
It was like those
with
three
their
key
special
moments, and I'm like,
eyes.
did I really need to do all? And like the side, all the side quests, like they add something right to the overarching world, and like that's fine. But I was just like, could we have like, could we have more streamlined this a bit so that
I think it was fan service for those who like Reen, which is not bad.
I think they wanted people to buy the game because Reen was in it.
Yeah, and then
they could have added more upfront though to him.
Yeah, and then on the other hand, though, I think Kevin's route is really good, and like I think that Kevin's route provided a lot of good stuff, like consistently in a way where I was just like, oh, maybe it should have just been this way, where like it's just the routes, and then Reen's route is what it is, and then like Kevin's route is still what it is as well. So it's kind of like I have a little bit of a mixed bag there, where it's just like I wonder if there was a different way to approach this, where it would have felt a little bit more streamlined, like remove a little bit of the fat, and like the fat is ultimately just like side quests that are good, but like I think at this point in the game we're just like, what's going on? Like we want answers immediately. Like this is that was the thing that's kind of different about this game, is that from go what the end game of this game is hey, Project Startaker, what's that? Let's figure this out. And so like there's a certain there was a certain point, and I talked about this with Mags when she was on party chat. I was like, because she was still right near the end, I was just like, there's definitely a point in the game where you're kind of like, boy, that Project Startaker, when is that going to happen? Like, like I thought it would be more than just like the final 2 hours, because it's just such this like this kind of shadow over your shoulder the entire game. Like you could be doing anything and you're just like, but Project Startaker, like I need to know more about that. I want that to start happening. And then you get all these moments where it's like, oh, Project Startaker started. All right, now we're going back in time and we got to do another. Or it's like,
do another.
I just want to know what Project Startaker is, dog.
So Cam,
there's a precedence though, right? Like Trails has a precedence where it's supposed to be kind of slow moving. You're supposed to like be kind of immersed in side quests and things. And I think some fans, they still kind of crave that. Like it's not a Trails game without all that so-called, I don't want to call it bloat, but Trailsness. But I think a lot of others, a lot of Trails fans, like I think most of us included, we kind of just want to get, okay, let's get on with the story. We don't need the Trailsness necessarily to make it a Trails game.
Well, that's like to your point about the character, or the kind of dearth of character development for certain characters in this game. Like that, I think speaks to what is my biggest frustration with this game. I think it's a great game. I love it. I was like on my feet cheering multiple times.
Yes.
Love this game.
Same.
I think it is the worst paced Trails game I've ever played. The pacing
was bad.
For all of the reasons you all have said and more.
Yeah.
It is terrible. The routes, the fact that we get up to the point of Startaker and then have to go back. The side quests, which I know a lot of Trails fans love. I love them too, but I don't love them in this context, right? Like this is a chapter of the story where events are starting to move. Things are starting to unfold. We should not be finding cats and lost library books,
cat finding thing
and stuff. You know what I mean? Like this is not the time for that. So like,
we can be pushing down old women though with the speed.
I mean, it's always great to see her. It's always great to see her.
I don't know why we keep trying to stop her. She's just gonna do it again.
Honestly, like how much harm is she doing? It's fine. Let her do it.
Just show her.
She runs like a
rodent.
She does.
I love her.
She's very good at it. She's not great at not getting caught.
That's a side quest that I feel like is worth it. Whereas like
that was the best side quest.
Be like,
I mean, it's the best. She's always the best. Like for like 8 games now. But
oh my gosh,
like the game starts with this incredible introduction where longtime series fans are like, we're on the edges of our seats, right? Oh, yeah. We've got Kevin back, we've got Reen, we've got Rufus, we've got all these people coming together for some mysterious project. We know about the space launch, and they're at this cool dinner and they're talking to each other, and it's like, oh man, we're about to get some stuff. We're about to get in it. You know?
And all those like lore jumps, like they just casually say like Cassim and
Mirabelle,
her name? Mirabelle, they're dating. I'm like, what?
I ship it totally. They're so cute, by the way.
It makes total sense. But like, so we get that introduction, and it's great. And then Act 1 starts, and it just grinds to a halt.
Zero.
It grinds to a friggin' halt.
It does.
And you are not just inundated with side quests, which I don't think were appropriate for this game. Honestly, I don't, especially in Reen's and Kevin's. Let's be
why are they
Spriggans.
handling Forest PGs?
Especially Kevin's.
Right? And they have to like really explain, like, well, we decided to like ask Van if we could do Forest PGs.
They
and so
pretzel twist themselves into the most ridiculous shape to make that make sense.
It was
and it doesn't.
So
it
corny.
fails.
I'm like, why do we need this?
It was very corny.
So we don't need those side quests. But even here's the thing: even if you take those side quests out, particularly of Act 1, it is still horribly paced because everything you do in Act 1 is go to this part of the city, talk to this person. Okay, go to this part of the city, talk to this person. Okay, now go over here and talk to this person.
Yeah.
Nothing is happening for the first like 12 hours of the game.
Yeah.
There's
it's
like at this point in things, there's no excuse for that. They know how to make a tightly paced game. They made Trails into Reverie, right? They know how to do it. Like they can make a game that tells a good full story in 40 hours. It doesn't have to be as long as this. And that to me is like, man, this would be the best. This would be my number one, probably, if it weren't for the pacing. It's just the pacing killed it so much.
It's mostly the Act 1. Yeah.
Act 1 is the worst. Yes, by far.
Because we visited Edith now 3 times and done kind of the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. And we're getting ready to do it again because, you know.
Want to visit
I know some people complain like
area, like it takes forever.
It does. It's big. Edith is huge. And
this is huge.
I know some people are complaining like why. Sorry to interrupt, but I saw online people like, why are people complaining about Edith? Like, this is every Trails game. You're always exploring the town. Like, what's wrong with Edith? Like, well, we've done this now 3 times.
The third time.
There's no other game that you've had to explore the same area as extensively
and it just
as this one 3
bigger.
times.
Like, there's
and it gets bigger.
You get more places to go to.
Yeah.
And this is the most like player-friendly Trails game, right? Like, you can fast travel anywhere.
Yeah,
you can view those, like we alluded to, you can view those connection events that you didn't choose. Like, this is a super player-friendly game, but it still is so bloated with all this stuff that, like, I don't know. It's frustrating to me because I feel like they were so close to a masterpiece. And there are elements of this game that I think are masterpiece level. Like, the overall storytelling, I think, is right up there. But they do lose some points on character development. And my point, to go back to what Cam was saying, they could have used some of that space that they had taken up with side quests and kind of meandering around in Act 1 to give us some more character stories and give us some more canon character stories, because I have a hard time viewing the connection events as canon if not everybody can experience them, right? Like, I don't know how you guys view it. Do you view all of those things as having taken place? Yeah. Because like they never reference them again.
For Calvert,
things that happen,
they do
happen in a
reference
connection
them.
event. Do they?
Yeah, I've noticed that they have. And
Horizon, they have more. So.
Yeah, I think that they are all canon. It's just you view the ones you want at that given time. Same with the previous Daybreak games. But like, I understand your point though. And like, honestly, what you were saying, like, take out some of that stuff and put the connect events in the main story. Yeah. Because those
more
are like so high quality. Like, what are we doing putting in like extra stuff that is not at that type of quality in the main story?
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think we need connection events anymore. Like Cold Steel, I understand why there's connection events.
Sure,
but we don't need this in the Calvert arc.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. And like Emily, like I think you said,
you don't.
We can get into that.
No. We'll have to hear why.
Like you said, Emily, with Catra, like kind of getting the least attention in this game. I thought Catra had one of the most interesting connection events this time.
Yes,
you know, but you could miss it. You could just miss it. You know, and that's like, man, what a bummer.
Yeah, that's what I felt like coming off of Daybreak 2, where Catra had so much development. I was hoping they would spend a little bit of, Beyond the Horizon in the beginning to kind of like smooth out, like kind of like giving like a little bit more closure to what he's been like, what they've been dealing with.
All they've been doing is looking
everything.
at Catcher with Pity, like the other routes. Be like, oh,
Exactly.
when they meet up in the whatever you call it, in the what do you call it, the hall of whatever?
The Grim Garden?
The Grim Garden.
Gardens.
Yeah, basically the Grim
Garden.
Gardens, like
They're a little like
The hub.
space.
the hub thing.
What is that place called? I can't
Yeah, I don't know. What
I
it's called.
forget
That's a really long, convoluted name. Like,
Yeah,
I did.
I didn't
That
make any
one.
space in my brain for that.
But they just well, always like when they would like look at Catra, be like, "Oh, I'm sorry about we're gonna kill."
oh, I know. That was so. I'm like, this is so unintentionally like goofy.
It's a little
right?
I
dark.
know.
Like
It
we're all
is.
nice and cheery to you on the surface, but no, actually, we had the intention to kill your
And then like
basically your
everyone's making
mother.
those comments like,
foster
ooh, it
mom.
looks like they're
Your foster
hiding
mom.
something. Like, why do they look so uncomfortable? And I'm like,
Right.
can y'all just like have a conversation? Like, this is
Right?
ridiculous.
Let's just talk. Let's just talk,
just need to
guys.
talk it
There's the
out.
hub there for a
Yeah.
reason. Okay, why can't we all communicate?
But to go back to the connection events, Cam, let's hear your
I wanna
thoughts
hear
on,
it.
on
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, I think the connection events have like only gotten better as the arc has gone on, and I definitely think it's an upgrade from Cold Steel, because really what it's like, because obviously Cold Steel got its inspirations from Persona, right? And Persona,
Yeah.
the whatever you call it, the social links, I think are like the weakest part of every Persona game, at least
Yeah,
of
I
like
agree with
the
that.
main three. And I think the connections are a much better version of those, where instead of it being like this long arcing thing, it is a specific scenario. You're learning something about the character, and also sometimes you get to do things with characters that aren't directly in your party, so you get
That is cool.
growth when they're not even in your party, which is really great.
Yeah.
Like the good like character development from Shizuna, that was through a connection. Like
Yeah.
that was like in the Grimgarten hub or whatever, and like you're having a conversation. She's telling you about the sword. She's telling you about like why she was given it and stuff. Like, I'm like, oh, so I understand where you're coming from now. Why you're so hungry for a fight all the time. Why you're so like these things I found super annoying about her. That like are now I'm like, oh, I understand now why
Have an explanation.
why
Yeah.
I have this explanation. And so like, yeah, it's one of those things where you could definitely make the argument like they could just take these out and then they could try and like insert these things or like just different scenarios that more fit in the story naturally. I think that would be a much more difficult thing to do, even for a team like Falcom. That like having these connections and allowing them to kind of like hyper like focus on certain things that these characters are struggling with. Like the catcher thing, which is great, which I agree with you is like probably the best connection in the entire game. Would not have they would not have had like a scenario like that naturally in the story, and like I don't know. I just think that like there's definitely ways to like I'm not saying connections are perfect, but I think that they're definitely like a good part of the game for me.
I think like a compromise could have been like in the hub, they could have had, one of the exclamation marks where you go and then they could like reminisce about that connection event rather than, cash it in and then see the connection
For
event
points.
whenever.
Yeah.
For points. I think as long as like they're there, you could actually view them. I think that would be a nice compromise.
I do think you're right, Cam, that it would be difficult to work a lot of that stuff into the story proper, right? But I think that's only true because they are so
How they set it up.
reliant on their structure, the trails structure, right?
Yeah.
And honestly, like I think that it is not only okay, but actually advisable that they start to break free of that a little bit. Like I understand the comfort of it, and I like it. Like I said earlier, I like the 4SPG, like all that world building that happens. I like that in the first game of an arc, right? When you're kind of establishing the world and getting to know your situation and your characters and the environment around you. I think that's a great way of doing that. It works it into the plot of the game, right? Like that's one of the things Trails has always done, is it's managed to make these kind of stereotypical JRPG side quests actually make narrative sense, right? Your characters are always people who do those sorts of things. So it actually works out really well. I just feel like if they structured the story differently, I bet they could work all of those various
Make them into
storylines,
side quests or something. Yeah,
into the game proper instead of hiding them in a menu. That's the only thing I have. The only issue I have with it is like tucking it away in a menu with a consumable points system
where you don't even have to
use.
view it if you don't want to, I guess.
Or you can just skip it, right? Like I agree. I agree that it would not fit in the story as it's structured now, but that just kind of again goes back to that my major gripe, right?
No, I ultimately like see where you guys are coming from too, and like I don't know. Again, I don't know exactly like what that would all look like. I do agree that like I don't know why there's like points, and why can't I just watch all these?
Right.
Thankfully, they fixed that in this game, right? Where you can get the currency to. I was like, thank God, like that.
Yeah,
that
was the smartest thing.
Biggest thing that frustrated
Agreed.
me for the first 2 games. Like the biggest frustration was just like I can't see all the connections in a single run through, which is nonsense.
Can pick and choose.
Do want to like step back a little bit because we were talking about pacing, and I did have a thought. Because, like, I do get what you're saying, Brandon, with the pacing. I'm kind of on the opposite end. I think I talked to Max about this, too, is that, like, I thought the back end was the more, like, slow for me part of the game than the beginning. Like it was more like Act 3 where I was kind of like, or, like, basically after the intermission, I was just kind of like, cool, it's the day of Project Startaker, and then the next 40 hours, the next 30 hours,
these next 12 hours
like
over and
it's
over.
one
and
day.
over.
That was the thing that we didn't talk about. That the sense of time in this game, absurd, does not make sense. Does not make sense. We're gonna travel across the city multiple times a day.
We
are running on Namek time. We are running on Namek time.
Seriously,
yeah, Namek
that's
time
such a great
right.
analogy because like, how are they doing all of this in like? What is it? 72 hours. The entire
exactly.
You'll
spend like 15 hours on side quests, and they'll be like, "Well, it's 10 a.m. I guess it's time we get to this meeting we have or whatever." It's like, what?
Yeah, but
there's no way they did that much.
But that's neither here nor there. It is what it is. But
you know how it's done is because we have the Septarian of Time.
Oh,
yes.
There you
go. Which was on the cover the whole time, guys.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was right there.
That's crazy.
It was.
I do think that like I don't think that I would be as frustrated with the pacing if we didn't know what Project Startaker like that it existed from Go, right?
Yeah.
Like I think if they introduced it later in the game and gave us time to be like, oh, what is actually this going on? Instead of like, hey, this is the end game right here, and now you have to play through 70 hours to figure out what it is. Because it's kind of like Cold Steel 4, like we kind of know like what Cold Steel 4, what the end game was, but we didn't really have as much a problem with the pacing, or because even though in the beginning, right, we have like that mission in Crossbell with Estelle, Lloyd, Joshua, Risha, like peak Avengers Endgame, like this was like I was like so happy, but then you get sent back, and now it's like, all right, now you're Kurt and Yuna, and now you're trying to find Reen, and now there's a witch village. Like that stuff didn't really bother me at that point, right? Like, but this time around, like for some reason, those things were a bit in the way, and even though the structure I think is pretty similar, and I'm kind of I'm wondering what it is that makes it different this time around, if that makes sense.
I think it's a lot of it's anticipation.
Yeah.
I think more so because you want to know, because like it's so much information about like leading to end game trails in general. So like your anticipation of wanting to know, like, all right, like how does this all fit in? What is happening in the world of like of trails in general? And so like you just get this hype, and so every time you stop to have to do like 15 hours of side quests, you're just like, all right, can I just get to the part? Can I get to the
show on the road, guys?
Can I get to the next like story beat? I want to know what happens. I want to know. So like,
and I think also just with people talking about how Kai is like the best thing since sliced bread. Like, when does it get good?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I didn't really have that mindset going into it, but because I just don't really super listen to the Japanese side of things, because I'm just gonna play this when I play it, and it is what it is. But I was like, oh, they are introducing this from Go, and then it's just like, surely by the halfway point we're gonna have a decent idea on what's going on. Nope, Nope. It's just
You're
like, okay.
You're experiencing trails. You are talking to all the characters. You're sucking in the atmosphere. That's it's a very atmospheric game. That's style to play.
Yeah.
Literally and
Anyway,
figuratively, the atmosphere is
those are my general thoughts 30 minutes later.
But I feel like that is like a general Trails issue. It's like Trails does not pick up. Like Trails is just like, all right, you have a bunch of stuff you're doing, and then like in the last like 5 hours of the game, it's just like
boom.
Crazy. Everything's happening.
Yeah.
And I think like that's a typical, like minus Reverie, that is like a typical Trails formula. It's like 75% or 80%, I would say, slow burn. And then like that last bit is just like 0 to 120.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think different games in the series, like there are some common complaints with the Trail series in general, and different games highlight different complaints. And I think like the pacing has always been an issue in Trails for me, but like it felt particularly egregious in this one. But it's not actually a different problem. It's just the same problem that Trails kind of always has.
Yeah.
Which, you know, like it's not obviously not a deal breaker. It's my favorite thing in the world. But it is like
our favorite
an
things.
issue.
We can.
Yeah.
It's valid to do that. It's healthy to do that too. So.
Well, I think it shows that you actually engage with it, right? If you are just uncritically a fan of something, it's like, well, that's fine, but you're probably not really engaging with it then. But Dala, what are your overall thoughts? Yeah, we're still on that.
Still on that. It's been so long. No, but honestly, it's basically positive. I think it's about the same that everyone's been talking about. I still think that it's not my favorite Trails, but it's like probably in my top 3. I can't remember where it would sit right now, but either way, I think they did a great job. I love all the characters. I especially like, I was going into this like Reen, I was like, okay, we're going to get Reen again. But I was pleasantly surprised with what they did with Reen. I loved his deeper voice. He was a lot more mature. He also understood, like, he was very self-aware in this game.
Thank goodness.
Like all the jokes. Exactly. Like all the jokes that were part of Cold Steel, where everyone would be like, Reen doesn't notice. Like all the girls love him. But like in this game, he's kind of like, I guess.
Yeah, I know.
Like, he's like, I know, and I can't. I can't do anything about it. It's just me at this point. So I love that he was like very self-aware. Kevin, incredible. I wish there was more Kevin. Honestly, I feel like they really just like every part of his like chapters or his acts were like just so much fun. I wasn't at first. I was like a little iffy about him being teamed up with Rufus and Nadia and Swin and Gang, because I was like, okay, like how did they get together? But then it just like made sense. Like
it does make sense. Yeah,
exactly.
So
like
together,
they are just like the perfect team of people with such like drastically different personalities. And just seeing like Rufus was amazing in this game.
I'm actually
Rufus.
not mad he's not in jail like I have always
wanted
him to be. But
he's
it's
like,
okay.
He's one of the few characters that you're like, you know, because like
redemption.
Yeah, like Trails is like notorious for redeeming,
which is fine. It's a good
evil
thing.
People.
Yeah.
Well, he's evil, but he's like just amoral now. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's just like amoral drifter, and that's fun.
And he has no money, which I feel like is a good punishment for him. He's just broke.
That's true. Yeah. He does get sort of a comeuppance. His fun.
He put it all on that suit, that drip.
I know, and the sunglasses. Are you kidding me?
So
That had to be expensive.
Yeah, when they first showed the concept art for him, I was like, Rufus, what the?
When I first saw it, I didn't know it was him. I wasn't labeled. I just saw a picture. I was like, who's that dude? Oh, it's freaking Rufus.
That's so funny.
That S-Craft too, like.
Oh yeah, on the throne. Oh,
on the throne. I'm
so
like,
good.
Dude.
He looks like he looks like he should be in like a old school J-pop, like a Gact or something like that.
Yeah,
someone like who's just like incredibly like dripped out.
Yes.
But I thought it was interesting too. He didn't complain about his lack of wealth or
he was just
status. He was just going for it. He's like, "Well, I'm here for the ride."
His character development was great. Like honestly, this version of him is my favorite version of him. And I thought it was cool. Like speaking to that whole like group's bond, they are very different, but they also have some really like wild parallels. Like some of those Connect events where like Kevin was interacting with Swin and Nadia and how they had gone through similar things. I was like, that is so good. And I just never would have expected it.
Yeah.
So,
I know.
Yeah.
And I love like when Nadia finds out that they're broke. That whole sequence is the funniest.
So funny.
So over it already. Like, no, they can't stay at the hotel and she's so mad.
Exactly.
So sad.
She was used to a sense of like, money.
She was riding high.
She was riding high on that. Now she's
so
unfortunately.
good. I love her. I just think she anchors that group, honestly. Like,
and Rufus's comments about like, well, Kevin, I guess, is gonna cover it. Like Kevin's always just like, okay, yeah.
He's like, yeah. I mean, I got endless money, basically.
Kevin's expensing everything. What does it matter? You know,
he's
Kevin's
not happy about it, but he does it. He's like,
the church coffers. They're very, very deep.
Yeah, they're very deep.
Reese hasn't eaten everything and spent them all, so they've got to have.
I'm so sad Reese wasn't in the game.
That was.
I can't wait.
She wasn't, but
I can't wait till she shows up in the next game.
Yeah,
she'll be
and kicks Kevin's butt.
She's got to be.
Okay, I need that. I need her to like be there and scold him and like give him a hard time.
Yep,
while
and eat a bunch of food with Lapis.
Yes.
Well, that's the thing. I think in this game it was very much like Kevin, like battling his internal like demons. And kind of goes back to the original arcs with Kevin back in the day, and then the second game of this, whatever this is going to be, I'm sure Reese is going to come, and then it's going to be this whole like kind of a similar dynamic again to kind of like pull him out of that a little bit, get him away from being the heretic hunter and more towards being just Kevin. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of Reese. Also, I would just want to see Reese. She's great.
I know, I love her, and she's so
I know.
she's been so underutilized.
Crossbow. Yeah.
Yes. We haven't seen her in like true 3D.
Really.
Yeah.
Never in 3D.
Never in 3D.
We just seen drawing or pictures of her in 3D, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And then also we've not been able to play as her since the third. So
correct.
I know.
I hope that she's a playable party member. Like I hope it's not like the thing that they did with Lapis or Toa where like they're just there.
Yeah, that was
like
weird.
Support,
I didn't like that. I just felt like that was a cop out, but anyway.
Yeah, I did not like that either. But yeah, I mean, that's how I felt about the game. Like, honestly, great game. Is it perfect? No, but I think it does so much right in terms of just the overall plot of Trails and who doesn't want to learn more about the end game. Because the ending is
me. I don't want it to end. I don't want it to end.
But all right, there's one thing like this is like tying to the end of the game a little bit, but Sunshine Agnes. The fact that they brought that story back, because that story is from Azure.
Yes.
It is.
And just not knowing, like now knowing what you know, is like, man, this is like
I didn't make that connection before.
Blows your mind.
Planned, like how many years ago?
Exactly.
That's something I really want to talk about in the next hour of our show. Is how everything has been like meticulously laid out in a way that I was starting to suspect maybe wouldn't be the case.
They reaffirmed it in this game. I think
it
most certainly is laid out.
That was my first thought when I finished the game, and what made tearing up a little bit was I was just like, man, like I thought I almost doubted Falcom here. Like you have that like after a certain amount of time, you're just like maybe Falcom maybe I am thinking too highly about Falcom, and it's like they're like, no, sit your ass down. we
got this.
Do not doubt us. We got you.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So how about you,
Emily?
Bran Arc Ride?
Emily? I think I went. Does anybody need to go still?
Emily,
I think.
Emily needs to.
Emily.
So I'm probably going to echo a lot of the same thoughts as everyone else. I really enjoyed the game. It has its flaws, as we've discussed. I do think despite, the slow burn, I think I still got really immersed into it. Like I was talking to more NPCs in this game compared to some of the other Calvert Arc games, and really vibing with the atmosphere and just overall feeling of, what those characters are going through, and making some connections too to like some of the side quests and things that were coming up. That was really cool to see laid out in that way. So I was a bit slower, I think, to finish this game compared to some of you guys. But overall, I think, the highs were highs, the lows, they were there, but I don't think they were as detrimental as maybe we were kind of hinting at. I think it's safe to say we all really enjoyed Horizon.
Oh, no, yes. 100%.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited, to see what is in the future for Van and the gang and really everyone else in Zemuria. And we'd love to give some predictions, I think. What do we think is going to happen? We've talked about a couple so far, but I think there's more we can definitely tease out.
Do we want to talk about the ending first before
we for sure.
Well,
there were some things I want to bring up.
Really matters.
We got to talk about the ending.
Maybe before the ending, I want to hear your guys' takes on the villains.
It's like everything.
What do you guys think of the villains in this game?
I really like how by the end, even if you have an idea as you're going along, by the end you're like, I don't know who's actually right here. Like everybody seems to have a pretty strong argument. I think
a noble cause. Yeah.
Like President Gramhart feels the most personal to me, where it's like he is moving heaven and earth so that his kid doesn't have to go through what he's afraid she's going to have to go through.
Yeah.
And that's just like heartbreaking when you see like his face when it fails. It's like, man,
it's brutal.
They gave it their best shot.
Exactly.
And then, you've got Professor Hamilton, where it's like, she feels a great deal of responsibility, and
she knows she's doing wrong things, but it's for a cause.
She's very not openly, but like very self-awarely doing these bad things. It's going to make her a target. But I like that. I know a lot of people, especially more nowadays than I remember when I was like a teenager, people often like very black and white sort of villains, right? Where it's like the bad guys are bad because they're bad. And that's why they're bad. And that has never been very appealing to me. I like a layered villain. A villain that thinks they're doing the right thing is the most interesting villain to me.
Yeah. Or just one that you can sympathize on a human level. Like, you're like, I don't agree with what you're doing, but because you're doing it because like you care about something or someone else, like I can understand why you
I could see where they're coming from. Like empathy is there. Like you can see like, all right, I see why you're doing this, but you're doing it in a wrong way, or
it's straight up bad, but like I understand, I get it. I also have done bad things. I get it. Like, that makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. How about Ouroboros? Do you guys think, did we learn more about Ouroboros and their
we learned quite a bit.
We did.
Not all of it I felt was that useful.
Okay.
But
they showed us, right, that there is among their group, at least, an awareness of this situation the world finds itself in, this looping
the phenomenon
through, and that the loops play out differently, right? Like Professor, what's his name, Dr. Novartis.
Like he was part of a loop where he was the only
disciple of Epstein.
Yes.
And he seemed to have some memory of that, but couldn't confirm it, and so that's why he was desperately searching through the Garten to confirm that for himself. So so like the thing that I found most interesting, the implication, and I don't know if this is going to be what happens for Ouroboros, is that the Anguis at least are aware of the loops, and because they see life and death happen over and over and over, that's why they're so like amoral and don't care about committing atrocities. You get like the Thousand Oathbreaker who just like mass murders people, and it's just like, whatever, who cares? They're all going to come back anyway. He doesn't care because
that's a good point.
What does it matter?
Think about it that way. I was more so annoyed by like some of the battles in the Grim Garden where it just felt like they were just joking around with the party. I was like, what is the point of this? But like by the end, it does get better when you get the like Novartis lore, and like I think that's a great point. Like it just maybe that is why
I think they're kind of testing them.
Yeah, but it just I don't know, and maybe that's why
it seemed
they
weird.
Like it just it just kind of felt like wasn't the most important thing.
I think it didn't help. Like some of the new Ouroboros we were introduced to, they were so nonchalant or just not. Didn't seem that serious,
right?
Like, why are they?
Like the streamer, like not that she wasn't funny, but like
she was funny. I thought.
Yeah, I thought she was.
Mind her, but she didn't. Like, why was she there?
Yeah. Just some of those battles and like exchanges just didn't feel like super relevant to the lore until you got to know Vardis, and then that was just like a whole like mind blown thing. Like, dumb,
and then you meet the Grandmaster again.
Yes,
and I think like,
important.
And I think that's where the difference between the Anguis and then like just a typical enforcers, because enforcers they're there just for the chaotic input. Like they don't know anything else outside of whatever they're told, and so like for them it's just this their opportunity
they're trying to contribute though themselves though. Like what's her name that came with Kevin's group, the Black Butterfly.
Lucrezia?
Oh yeah.
Lucrezia. Yes, Lucrezia. Like I think she's trying to do good in her own way.
She's one of the nicest ones. I feel like she helped Ren she helped Yorda, and she's helped like the younger girls that have joined the organization. Like,
and then Yorda too has like a cause, like she's trying to help her brother Ix, who's turned. Like I don't think they're
not
there
inherently
to cause chaos,
evil.
like as we probably maybe envisioned before.
I think chaos in the D&D spectrum more. Like there's good chaotic, there's neutral chaotic, there's evil chaotic. Yeah, I think a lot of them some of them are evil chaotic, sure. But like I would say Yorda is like good chaotic, right? And Ren certainly Ren was evil chaotic for a while, but she's shifted over the course of the series.
But that's why I think like there's a sense of baseline of chaos with like, especially if you look at the enforcer level. Where like the Anguish is everyone's that we meet tend to be more collected. And they have an understanding of things that like they're plotting. Their whole thing is like you don't know where they're coming from yet because we don't know enough about what they're trying to like.
We only heard the plan recently, like from Campanella of like the structure, like the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and it's so interesting. Like putting those pieces together from the back.
Yeah, Campanella is like the only one that's like an Anguish that is completely chaotic.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know completely chaotic. I think there's reason behind it.
The structure of their organization is chaos, right? Like they don't require anyone to do anything, and that sounds like it sounds strange because they don't have any rules. So like that in and of itself is just chaos in nature.
But they're kept in check by the Grandmaster, sort of. Like I think if they go too far, she steps in.
Yes, probably.
I think there's probably stuff we still don't know.
She kind of steps in. For at the end there,
Navarus
with Novartis,
he's
like kind of having a moment, and he's like, I think he's just having a moment because he can't remember everything, and she's like, all right, he's like, it was kind of awkward, but
yeah, because like he was learning something that he wasn't sure of, and then when he learned it kind of broke him a little bit.
Yes, it did.
Like you could see him slowly like switch, because he's just like, oh.
Which is not him.
Remember from your other time periods, like, does that break you down further?
I don't know. What he remembered, like, why is he not in that time period anymore? Like, what could have possibly happened to force him into another loop? Because could he have lost people? Like, I don't know. It's
a mixture of that and like validation, because like he's had this hypothesis probably for the longest time. So he's been trying to like figure this out. And so like when he figured it out and then realized that there's like a version of him that is the only Epstein like disciple. Yeah. Like it just like it like shattered everything. He's like, yes, I knew it.
He probably like froze, like, what do I do now? I've been searching for this my entire like life, basically. Yeah. Like, what do I do from here now that I have this knowledge?
So I wonder what the Grandmaster is going to do with him.
I don't know. This Grandmaster. Another thing I want to bring up is Nina. And her role and everything.
Nina. She is...
I didn't expect her to be part of the church, to be honest, from the previous Calvert games.
Yeah. At first, I thought she was going to be like another witch type character.
I thought she was going to be a witch or someone evil.
Well, I thought she was going to be a witch because her name fits the pattern of every single witch. Exactly. They all end in A.
Yeah, that's true.
Every witch's name ends in A.
I thought there were hints in the second game that she was working with the church. I don't know.
I didn't know if it was the church.
At the end.
Because I thought that it was basically confirmed that she was like over the papal guard. I don't know if that's running all together with the other game. That's fine. I just, it was interesting to learn more about it, though, especially through those remembrance orbs, whatever they're called.
Yes.
And just kind of get that backstory, like, and see that she already kind of had this power that was then cultivated by the church. And I just still think she's kind of a bit of a mystery, though. Like, I wonder,
she gave Kevin that power, the eye.
Yes. To be able to see.
Caustic eye.
The caustic eye, yeah.
She comes from outside.
And she had to learn emotions through acting. Like, it's so interesting.
I know.
Comes from outside the world as we know it, right, in Zemuria.
Right. Kind of like McBurn and
McBurn is another,
that we know. Yeah. Which I just wonder if the next game's going to answer some of that. Like,
I don't know if it's the next one, maybe the next arc. Like right at the end. I don't know. I feel like Falcon likes to keep stuff in mystery for a long time.
Right. But whatever, like, Van is sort of in the same way, though. Like, because he wasn't present in, well, we can get into that. But I just feel like
memories, that are not there.
Yeah. And whatever's going on with him is similar to McBurn as well. So I just wonder if we'll get a few answers in that sense. So.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on, Dala.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, I want to talk about Professor Hamilton because I think that was the first like reveal where I literally was like, oh,
same.
Shocked.
We're like,
that was one of my stand up moments.
Yes.
When they were explaining everything, I was like, wait, so she's been taking resources from the future
and bringing it to the present.
And like, we don't know for certain if that's causing the desertification stuff, but like, that's still like, what the f-? And I was like, why? Because that was like the first layer, right? Where you just thought like, this is bad because they're going to run out of resources in the next few years. And it's like, oh no, she's been doing this because she knows that the loop is going to happen.
Yeah, so like, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's like, that was the moment when I was like, okay, I'm confident that they know what they're doing. Because, I've thought a lot about over the years playing Trails, the advancement of technology in the world of Trails and how it starts out. Sky is like basically almost a medieval world with just starting to get some technology. And then 7 years later, they've got more advanced AI and virtual reality than we have. And it's like, that could be chalked up to they don't really care as writers and they're just telling a fun story. But no, like there is this, they've been laying the groundwork for it since the first game, right? The first game, they're talking about Professor Epstein, and you don't even have to think about it. It's not important to understand that, to enjoy that first game. But like, they've been laying the trail for this, no pun intended, from the very beginning. And I was like, okay, I'm on board. They know what they're doing.
And I felt like with the first chapter too, when they released that soundtrack, right? What was it called? 2000? Like they had the date in there.
It was like in here, and it was like 1XXXX or something like that.
XXX, yeah. I'm like, are they trying to hint at something? Is first chapter like one of the, time, like,
is the remake like a different loop? Like,
it's a different.
Yeah, because the difference, because we don't. Yeah, the cycle.
We don't know because why is the technology so much better?
Wait a minute. That might. Wait a minute.
Wouldn't that be nuts?
Hold up.
I've thought about this.
I'm about to. Okay. So there's a recent interview with Kondo, and he's talking about how SC is going to shift some of the things that's happened. It's not going to be the exact same game. There's going to be some changes to the story plot, and things might, be very different than what we. So like, I wonder if this remake, I wonder if it is this whole remake process is going to be a whole different time
thing. It's just like, for Final Fantasy VII remake. It's a,
So you hold on.
It's an alternate timeline.
Big brain here right now. So do you think that they did first chapter after Horizon on purpose?
Yes.
On purpose. Yeah.
For multiple reasons,
For several
multiple
reasons beyond that.
Meta reasons.
Their team was burnt out
second chapter,
and they needed something else
it's
to
going
work
out
on.
before Horizon 2.
Yeah.
You just wrinkled my brain. That's incredible.
I really hope that's the case, but we'll see. Maybe this is too much,
Yeah, maybe we're overthinking it,
things.
but it does make sense.
It
But it
does.
makes sense.
It
Like
does.
they like based off of what they've always been like they've always done. They wouldn't change plot points. Like,
No, they wouldn't.
The fact that Kondo is like outwardly saying like, yeah, SC is going to like the ending's going to be different. Like there's going to be a different whole aspect to like where characters might end up, who lives, who dies, and things like that.
I don't know
And,
how
like,
I feel about
I
that.
don't either.
And the fact that
I
they're
don't
willing to
know.
change it means that there's something like
Something going on.
Is he
yeah,
just
because like, they
talking?
wouldn't just
Like, he blows
lies,
air
though.
all the time.
Kondo
so
just
I
says
think
shit.
Kondo
That is important.
doing
That is
Kondo
true.
things.
That is true.
Like he just
Toshihiro
loves to
Kondo.
yap.
Toshihiro Kondo is great, but he sometimes
He's a menace.
puts his foot in his mouth.
He's a,
I think what might change are maybe
straight-up
some like
menace.
side things. It's not going to
Yeah.
be like the overall main plot, but some side
Yeah.
things that might
Yeah.
tie into the other,
The other games, maybe
games
The other
better,
games.
arcs better. That's my guess.
Which
Yeah.
would be fine,
Which
right?
makes
Nobody's
sense.
too
I'm fine
mad
with
about
that.
It'd be fine.
because now they have all these games,
Especially
that
for
they
Sky
can
the
more,
Third, if they
like-
do that.
Yeah, they have all of the games now that they can more intentionally connect to. Whereas when they
Yes.
initially made Sky, they didn't.
They didn't,
So
correct.
in that way,
Yeah.
it makes sense, and maybe it's not
Yeah.
this huge deep.
I wouldn't mind that.
No, I wouldn't either. Like if we got to see other characters that now exist and connect them and like weave them into the overall narrative of Sky, I think that'd be really cool.
And
I
I,
would-
think that could tie into the art, the overarching theory that this is another time loop, and that why they're
And now
presenting
these
these
characters
remakes
are interacting
now.
with each other when they didn't before. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
because I want to see Van show like a younger Van show up in like one of the earlier games.
I don't.
Because when he-
Definitely
He needs to
me
be
and
there
Sky
with
the Third. Like
me and Brandon are like, nah.
Yeah.
I think Sky the Third,
He
like
should.
whenever
He
they
should be in Sky
remake
the
that
Third.
one, like
Make another Star Door.
That allows them to do more, I think, with the doors. You don't think
I would
so?
maybe be okay with I
Because-
would maybe be okay with a
Because
Star
it's
Door or
just hinting
something.
some things that would
Yeah.
happen in future arcs, which is what Sky
Yeah.
the Third did.
Yeah.
Like it just
Well,
set
'cause
the stage
between-
for other
Like-
things. Cam's like, no.
No,
and they've done this
Stop
like, you know,
it.
with Reverie, hinting
I
at
want a
stuff
moment.
that happened in Calvard. I think they should do that for Sky the Third, hinting at stuff
Yeah.
that happens in future arcs.
I want
Right.
a moment between like young Ren and
I do
Van,
too. I
kind
wanna
of
see
like
it play
showing
out.
showing that like little like it doesn't have to be a
Rescuing
full like
her.
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be a full like plot
Oh,
point,
yeah,
but like a
here's-
glimpse.
Well,
into
even
that.
if it's a glimpse, like here's my reason why I'm not a fan of that. Even if we're like in general, I'm just not a fan. But like if I'm giving specific reasons, like if we do all of that, then there's going to be certain connections and payoffs that we got in Calvard that those people would no longer get. And I think that like that's like those are like the big things that make Trails special to me. It's just like going farther into a series and being like, oh, this character's connected to this character way back here, like, and having all those connections, like where it's like if they tease all like a bunch of that with Van with other characters in third, once you get to Van, it's just like, oh, like I remember that from third chat, like I that
Yeah.
doesn't really sit
But-
well
I
with
see
me.
That's a
I
fair
think the
point.
length of the games it's going to be long enough where I don't think it'd be too much of an issue, even if it's like briefly mentioned. Like when people they have new eyes, they have no idea like this is an important event. They won't really see why it's important until they get to.
But you know what they
Van's
could
arc,
solve in the
personally,
future games if they do it this way? They don't have to make it where they'll have a scene where a new character shows up and everybody has to tell everyone how they met that character. So they could have just incorporated that into like all the previous games, so that way you're like, oh yeah, like I know exactly where they met them. I don't have to hear 50 characters tell me how they met.
I haven't
That
seen
would
you for
cut
half
so
a year.
much time out of the games. Are you kidding me?
Like it would solve that problem. Like we just wouldn't have to hear it, and which is fine.
They're very proud of their character connections. You can tell
Yeah.
it by that every time they bring a character in.
It's kind of like them flexing, like, yeah, we like wrote all this. And like
Yeah.
there are all
We
these
remember
connections,
it,
and we
unlike
did
some
that.
other
Exactly.
creators.
But they also are doing that for like people that may not actually know, right? Like
Remember.
even though
Right,
like
right.
I think
That's
you
it.
know, because I'm always going to be like, yo, you start with Trails in the Sky 1 and you go down. But like, you know, Kondo says, and I know some people in here think that you can just start with any arc. So like those are reasons why that makes sense for those to be in there, right? So,
They are
Yeah,
they are
they
like
are.
they are somewhat awkward, inelegant ways of solving that problem for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they work, but they're not the most elegant
Yeah.
solutions to
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And it's just fun to like. It's just one of the things. It's just Trails. Like that's just
Yeah.
a Trails
Yeah.
thing,
It
and it's
is.
goofy, but like we love it anyway because it's funny at this point. So
yeah.
And they make fun of themselves about it too. Like
They do. Yeah. They're very
they talk
self-aware.
about the power of friendship a couple of times has come up as like a jab at themselves, you know, like I appreciate that.
yeah,
about
they
them.
know.
yeah.
Another character we haven't talked about yet is Renee and his stuff at the end.
We gotta talk about Renee.
We need to talk about this.
I was just about
Oh.
to. Yeah, I want to talk about that. Like, what did you guys think about like that reveal?
Betrayal? I don't know.
That betrayal.
It makes sense.
It does make sense.
I'm glad they did it because I'm like,
Yes.
what is the point?
Otherwise,
of him
he's not that
otherwise?
interesting.
What is
Yeah.
what is
friend
his
who's a
purpose
little bit-
overall?
Well, no, I
stuffy.
think I can. Hold on, he does have a purpose. Hold on, I can say that before we get into it. Like, because there's Van, Elaine, and Renee all represent certain parts of society, right? There's like Elaine is like the Bracer Guild, like the more community focused, like aid representative, and then Renee is just like the
Government funky.
unfortunate bootlicker, like, hey, this is the government.
True.
Like, we need, like,
Fair.
they are our security. We need to, and granted, he's a Nepo baby, right? His dad worked in government, so he's gonna be, he's gonna have some sort of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Like an N?
Influence. He's gonna have he's
Yeah.
gonna be influenced by his dad because he worked in the government as well, and he was ambitious in that right as too. But like, because here's the thing, like I like Renee a lot. I thought he was like one of the more interesting characters throughout the arc, where it's just like you have this guard up, and I know
Yeah,
it's more than just because like you and Van used to be old friends, and now you're a government official, and you're that type of thing.
He was hiding something for sure.
Like he always had something going on, and we just didn't know what it was until now. And like even now, like though, like he really, even though he was, I'm curious if like he knew about Agnes's situation prior to like being Graham Hart's right hand person, or if he like became the right hand person, found out the truth, and was like, okay, I need to play like this double agent role against Graham Hart. You know what I mean? Where he's like helping him succeed, and if he succeeds, great. But if we have to do the press button in case of emergency, I'm ready to do Rendell Shabala or whatever it's called.
Wherever that came from.
That's what I'm like. Where did that come from?
Was it because I just want to make sure, was it confirmed that he's from a different loop?
No, we don't know.
I have no idea
know.
still.
I
I
don't
have
think
no
they mentioned
idea.
I didn't pick that up, so I don't know.
I don't think
I
I will
know,
say-
but he knows too much.
I think he is, and so
He knows too much. He
very
probably
well-
is.
And I think
Yeah,
that's
he
probably
might
so.
be.
I think he already knew, and I think
And
he
why he
already
feels
knew
so-
that Graham Hart was going to fail because we got the evidence that particular type of like solution failed in Cray Village with that statue.
The
Because
statue.
that
We already-
showed that whole
It had already
plan
failed before.
had already
Because
failed
it's already
before.
failed. Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
think he knew that, and I think
Yeah.
that's why he was going with the other plan.
Do you think
Because
I think how
already
he
know.
interacts with everyone too, he's so detached. So
Yeah.
he already knows it's going to fail. He needs to
Yeah.
detach himself emotionally.
Yeah, like he's
Yeah.
like, I can't get invested in this because I already know the outcome.
That's also a really
That's a
good
strong. Yeah, that's a
But
strong
do you
theory.
think he's a vestige, or do you think that like?
He's showing his face, so I don't think he's a vestige.
I don't
Unless
think
he's
he's
a vestige that's just showing
Well, they
himself.
didn't
Like, they
show
don't have
their
Grendel
faces
powers.
mainly because they didn't want people to know like
Sure.
You're supposed to be dead.
they
why
were
are you
dead
here?
people that were like or future
Or people from the
that didn't
future we don't
exist.
know yet.
Yeah.
What if he came from another loop and he killed the Renee?
That's
from
what I'm
this
thinking.
loop?
Like he either captured or that's what I'm thinking. He
I
took his
literally,
place.
I do think he's from
Well,
another loop, though.
Ooh,
Like,
doppelganger.
yeah,
That's like
I
that's
stand
like
with
the
that.
movie Primer. I
And-
love that.
I like this.
Yeah,
Um,
and what if like we
and
don't
why Van's
know
like, I
when
can't connect to
he
this guy.
started
What's
to be
his
this
problem?
Renee? Like, what if like we knew
Yeah.
the OG Renee in the first game, and then
maybe
this is the
Daybreak 1,
different
he was OG, and then like 2 is when it
2,
changed.
he switches.
Well,
It's
it's
a
gonna
suit.
be- I
When
was
that-
just thinking
when the
it's gonna
Red
be-
Grendel
Yes.
came.
We don't.
It's going to
know.
be very interesting to replay the Daybreak games with what we knew about Renee now.
Yeah,
Just to kind of
if there's
see
a
that
shift
because
Yeah, 'cause
in
Yeah.
like personality
Yeah,
that
tone.
maybe we didn't know. Because like I don't know, he is very like kind of out like detached. So like it's hard to see like if there was a change in his personality. But like I am on that like he is from a different loop, and like there's just like I don't know how he got to this one, but like he already knows too much about what's
He does.
happening.
I'm wondering if, because I don't remember at this point, I wonder if there's ever a point where Renee told an old story about Van and Elaine. Because if it's a different loop, the story wouldn't be,
they might be different.
Match up?
it wouldn't match up. And
Well,
so
I don't-
I'm curious.
I wonder
if that's
I
We
wonder
didn't
if
hear
he's-
too much from him. Like
I wonder if he
we don't
switched
right
after
at all.
2. Like I wonder if he switched
it's
between
maybe
2
mid
and
2.
like after two, because like 2 he was still around. We still played as him.
You could play,
but
as
like
him.
in 3 he's just like disappears.
He
like,
did.
You
That's
do not see him at all. Like
and
leading
Dan
into
keeps
3.
saying, "I'm trying to contact
He's
Renee."
a lot
Like,
more
he's not picking up.
detached.
Yeah.
In Horizon for sure.
In
Well,
Horizon,
it's possible.
yeah.
We talked to his father too. He's like, "I think there's something wrong with my son."
Yes.
Basically, is what he
Yeah.
That
said.
Connect event, you don't even see him. It's literally
Yeah.
just his dad. And
It's
he's like,
literally his
"Can you
dad."
check on him because like it seems
Yeah.
like he's working really hard." And so,
My
I swear,
brain.
like he is such a mystery, but like I really do think
Yeah.
he's from a different loop, and like
He
we
must
don't
be.
know where the other Renee is, and like what was the loop that he's from like? Like, did he and Van and Elaine have the same kind of experiences? Like, what is going on there?
Yeah, is his
Is-
Grendel
okay.
from
Different
a different loop
dynamics. Yeah.
as well?
Okay, so
Like-
this
I
is
think
a
so.
question. Maybe this is a dumb question, but help me out here because I've been confused by Daybreak 2 for quite a while now.
Uh-huh.
But every time that they went back in time in Daybreak 2 to get one of the Genesees,
Like the fragments.
were they going to different loops? Because that's literally
Yeah, it's
the
not clear.
only way it makes sense. The only way it makes sense because by going back in time, they would be undoing what they just did
Yeah.
on that first
Or
pass
they're
through.
exchanging loops, therefore, like getting rid of theirs and taking another one.
So they're
that's-
going into
maybe that's
other
the
loops,
same thing.
taking the Genesis back into theirs, and then going back and taking the next
I think
one
it's an
back
exchange.
into theirs. I just gave myself goosebumps. I gave myself goosebumps.
That's the thing that's tough though, because that goes into a bigger question. Of
body.
like, hey, do the Genesis exist in every loop?
Do
We
they
had the
exist in
fake
every
ones.
loop, or
the fake
are
ones
they
are
like,
they from other loops?
are they from other loops? Yeah, and so the
Yeah,
reason that
that's
I
a
got
good
on that train of
question.
thought was, did the Renee switch happen during all of that time Genesis jumping
Yeah.
around in Daybreak at the end of
Could.
Daybreak 2?
Maybe he came as like a what do you call it, a side effect?
Yeah, he came
Yeah.
in along for the
Unintentionally.
ride or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have to be intentional because for him to come in, if it was randomly through the loops, he would have had to experience the end. Like for him to understand what's
Yes.
going to happen, he has to experience the whole loop of what
Yes.
happens at the end, and then he has to survive that loop and keep his memories. Much
Well,
like
we have some
the author
characters that
from-
remember their memories from other
Yeah.
loops. So
Like
maybe
the
he
author
just,
of-
for some reason, was able to retain it.
well, there's a
Maybe
way
the
to like,
Grendel allowed him to protect himself.
Open his eyes.
well, because
like,
like if
I
you
don't
look
know.
at like
Yeah.
the
Maybe,
ending,
maybe.
if you look at the ending, let's say if we look at the ending of this game, so
Yeah.
you have all different characters in different places. There's the 3 different places that they're in. So you got like Reen is in one place with Kafang.
He's in Long Lie, like
Long Lie.
Mhm.
You got the people with like Kevin and them with Hamilton, and then
Yes.
you have Van and everybody with what's it called the president.
Oh yeah, Graham
Yeah.
Hart,
Graham Hart.
Renee,
Graham Hart,
Hassan,
Renee, everybody.
Mirabelle. Yeah,
So I'm wondering, like, there is what Hamilton is doing, and she is basically setting things up for whoever's in certain locations will keep their memories. That's my theory is that
All the work
People-
she's doing.
Oh, okay.
all the work, everything she's been working on is to make sure, like, if
The next loop
worst
will be
comes
better.
to work, yeah, if everything screws up and they have to do another loop, and so that was going to break, like Agnes breaks the loop, kind of like she does something to
Yes.
sacrifice herself to
She partially resets.
yeah, partially
And she's the
resets
last
it.
That should be like a
She
copy.
Resets the loop
Exactly.
where she
so
does
like
not
this
exist.
is their last chance,
Right.
is how
Exactly.
I see it. Is because there's
Yes.
no more Claudels, so
Exactly.
No. Yeah.
they have to make it like this next loop is
This
it.
one counts.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so she breaks that. And so part of that process was to ensure that the people in those locations still regain, I don't know how much of their memories still are going to be like there.
Intact.
Cause like
Yeah.
there's a reason why Yume like makes her way, like, what's her
she
name?
has
She has Mayor.
Mayor Bear in her.
Mayor takes her over her.
'Cause,
There's a
yeah,
reason
her
why,
eyes.
there's a reason why Mayor Bear takes her over and pulls her to the
Specifically.
tower.
I have
because-
a
To
theory
witness.
about Mayor. Actually,
I have a feeling that Yume is
I
going to
wanna
be the
talk about
one
that.
who kind of like unleash, like who kind of pokes at Van's memories in the
Yes.
next coming loop. She's going to be the one who kind of like keeps kind of poking at it, and he's going to like slowly start to remember things through Yume and Mare in that whole process,
And being
whatever she did.
present in that
Exactly.
situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like his memories are there, but they're going to be locked away probably because of this whole thing, and then she's going to slowly like unlock
Reveal
that,
them.
and reveal that to him. And so yeah, that's like
Yeah.
a whole thing.
Go ahead, Cam.
I'm sorry.
Your hands
Sorry.
were raised a lot.
Sorry.
No,
I remember we were talking about
I-
Renee for a while, and
Yeah.
we were making it sound like that he was on Team Anyes. He was on Team Anyes, right?
Yes.
Right.
I was
And
thinking
Hamilton.
in the mindset that he wasn't on Team Anyes for a second. So like I'm curious as to in general, I'm like, how do all these people like know, like the people that are on the teams, like how do they all find out? Do you did Anyes like go to these people and talk to them like in
Hamilton reached out to her.
Yeah.
Hamilton reached out to Anyes like near the
Grammy.
beginning of the game. You see her like get a phone call from Hamilton. And I think that's when she gets filled in like this is happening and like you're basically the failsafe. And
No,
like,
she had to have known before that.
Yeah.
you know,
She didn't. I don't
she
think she
didn't
did.
know. I don't think
No.
she
I thought did her mom not
guys,
tell her?
No.
Guys, the pseudo date with Van, I think she knew.
No,
She's trying to-
No,
that
she's
happens
known
she
before
since
knew
the
it.
That happens-
beginning
that
of
happens
the
after.
arc.
That happens
In the beginning
after
of the
the
arc,
arc.
she's
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
hey, I need help finding these Genesees. And we've known for like a few games that
Yeah.
she has some ulterior motive.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
So she had to have known that she needed the Genesees.
From the very beginning.
That's why
from
she
the
was
very
searching
beginning
for him.
to,
I see what you're
to
saying.
use them. Maybe Hamilton
I always
told
just
her
thought
like,
she
hey,
had-
now it's coming. Like you need to be prepared for
I just
this.
don't know how
I think
long
it's
she knew that
unconscious.
she would have
No.
had to sacrifice herself.
I think
yes.
that's what it's
Definitely
unconscious
known.
that she
She's
feels like it's her
definitely known.
purpose, but she doesn't know exactly why. But then it connects, it clicks in. I think towards
Yeah.
the end
Because
of
there's a
Horizon.
point.
That's
There's a
my
point
guess.
at the end of the game where where it kind of like shows where Agnes figures out like there's
It's
like,
like
a
a-
flashback of her like like where Van sees her walking with Hamilton to the
Yes.
tower and
Yes.
things like that. So like they're
Yes.
indicating to the fact that like she's slow like. This is where she was
putting it
figuring things
together.
out. She's putting it together and things like that. So
Now
I
she's
think
doing stuff behind the scenes to.
Yes.
I think she's
Get it
always
working.
known. I think she's inherently known that she needs to find the
She has a
Genesis.
purpose with the
Yeah,
Genesis.
like,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
she didn't realize like what her role
it entailed.
in everything
Yes.
until Hamilton probably
don't believe-
told her.
I don't think so.
I think
mean,
so.
I
But
think I'm
we'll
with
see.
I think
We'll
I'm
see.
with Cam that she did know, and like I think she was like maybe foolishly holding out hope that
would work out.
Startaker would work out. And so she was like
possible.
waiting until the last
Yeah.
minute to like, okay,
Because
we have to do this.
Anyes, like,
But
even
that-
though she was hiding information, she's always been a good person, right? She's always,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
she's never,
And she's-
I never thought like, oh, she's go up to doing something evil, right? Like, or
No.
something
No.
bad.
Yeah, she's never been
no.
like that.
And like,
She's
I think,
never done that.
and I think
she's
that
inherently good.
Hamilton taking and Agnes going to the tower, I think that was just Hamilton showing Agnes like, this is where you need to do it. This is where it happens. It's just
This
so
is
that
the plan.
this is
Just
where,
walking her
this is
through
where
it.
you put in the Genesees. Like this is where it happens.
Right.
But I am still curious as to like, did Agnes like share this information to Hamilton, and then Hamilton did more research on like figuring things out, or like how did all of these players get into?
I think Hamilton
the
knows.
roles?
Like
Hamilton
Hamilton is the
knew.
origin.
But how
Like,
did Hamilton know?
Because of Epstein. Like he
Yeah.
Why didn't
designed
Epstein
didn't he
tell-
design
Why didn't Epstein?
he designed
tell-
Tryon Tower, right? Or Tryon Tower?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
He
Yeah.
designed Tryon Tower.
He built that with
As a
those
failsafe.
places for the
Yeah.
Genesees
Yes.
for that purpose.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so I'm almost positive would have informed Professor Hamilton.
Yeah.
about
But why
he
didn't he
definitely
tell Russell or Schmidt?
because he
I
probably
mean-
didn't trust anyone else. Like
I mean,
Hamilton
or
was the
maybe-
only.
He has them
Or
doing
maybe
other
he did.
tasks.
Or maybe he did. Like we don't, it's not pertinent to their stories
Yeah.
right now. So maybe he
Yeah.
did, and it's just not like
He has
'Cause it's tough
multiple
to
projects,
know.
right? So
Yeah,
I think
and
he
it's-
just
It's tough to know,
separate
like,
them.
how are the people in Laverle reacting to what's happening in Calvard? Like,
True, we don't
yeah.
know.
Like, it's hard.
Yeah.
And I think this next game is going to give us an indication because with like some sort of conflict like this, like we're going to have people from all the
Also,
arcs, I think,
if you-
like come in. So,
If
Well,
you
they're
look
hinting
at
at
their
some characters coming, like
yes.
Yeah.
Ellie. We know
Ellie.
he's her
McDowell.
dad.
Yes,
Her
So I
dad
think
is
dad's there.
For sure. I think,
Yeah.
yeah.
We keep talking about them.
I think
They're gonna come.
in terms of like the disciples, if you look at their personalities though, Hamilton is the most likely person you would trust in
True.
something like this. Like if you look at the other two, like one of them is like
Eccentric.
An asshole.
eccentric.
Russell's
like-
one of them's a jerk. One of them is a eccentric but clumsy.
I don't think
like
Russell would do what Hamilton had to do.
no, see, like
I don't
Russell,
think he has. No, he can't do it. Yeah.
He wouldn't be able to live
Hamilton
with
is the
himself.
perfect amount of
Yeah.
chaotic good where she's like, I need to do this done. This needs to get done. I will do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like she's going to like make herself out to be the worst person to make sure this happens.
I think,
and I think
taking
she
on
was
the
the
three
only
disciples,
one.
he was kind of
that is
basically
fair.
trying to fit that who gets the task.
And Epstein's smart. He would probably
that's a
see
good
her and be
point,
like,
yeah.
I know that you're the one I'm going to do this with because you're the most likely person to.
It makes a
We're
lot
gonna
of
see
sense
this
too because she's the
through-
last one that we meet and everything.
Yeah.
And I was
Yes.
like, when are we going to meet Hamilton? It's like, oh, because she's
She has
she's the
a
big
huge
player.
role. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, she has
Yeah.
the biggest role out of all of them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, yeah. And I think that's a good point that, like, perhaps that's why he took on multiple ones in this specific loop, because we know that before they weren't his
Yes.
disciples. So, like,
You're-
maybe he was like, no,
Big
Vardis
brain
is not
Max
it.
here.
Like, so I need to try
Yeah.
with different people. And so
Oh
that's
my
why he
gosh.
picked those three, because he was like,
Epstein, we know,
someone has to be the right
has
fit
to
for
be
this.
aware of the loops as well, right?
Yes.
Like
So-
he's one of the key
yeah.
people,
100%.
despite being
Yeah.
dead long before the series starts. Like he is the character in all this.
It
Like,
makes
he's
sense
the
too.
origin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes sense too because
Yes.
he's like just basically known as like the smartest guy ever, right? And it's
Yeah.
like, how would he know all this information, or like how would he be so smart? It's like because there's a bunch of loops and he remembers and he just continues to gain knowledge, and then he like makes the Genesis eventually, and like
Yeah.
yep, I don't know how much they're going to expand upon that stuff in the next game, but oh my god,
it's
like,
going to be crazy.
I could watch.
I
I
think-
could watch so much on that. Just like give me
Yeah.
Epstein's life. Like I want to know how many loops he's lived through. Like how he created the
Yeah.
Genesis.
There's so
like,
many anime things they could have done with the series, but then they
I know.
chose
This craziness. And
the other ones.
I have something to add regarding the loops really quick, because I looked it up because I wanted to verify. So we know, obviously, spoilers for the first Daybreak game. We know that Van houses that diabolic core, and it hosts one of the devils. Well, I think what's revealed, at least in the first game, is that initially there were 72, and then after some kind of event, there are 77. 5 more were added. So I'm inferring that means that 5 were added in a loop. And so I'm wondering if Van, does he even exist in all of these loops? Or does he only start to exist when that one?
When those 5 are added.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
well, if that were the
Interesting.
if that were the case, the Kincaid being from a different loop theory wouldn't make sense
why
It
not?
could,
It
still.
could because
because Van didn't exist, and then so
Right.
he wasn't friends with Van.
right. So he could have
Well,
just existed with Elaine.
He could
Yeah,
have
maybe
existed
that's
by
why
with
he
the
Elaine.
doesn't. He feels so cold towards
Or-
the fan.
We also
Yeah.
don't know that
Yeah.
this would be the first loop that Van was present for. He could
No,
have been
we
present for
don't.
several, because
I'm
we don't know
just-
when those 5
Do we
demons
think he's
were
only been present for
added.
loops with Mare?
I think Mare's
Yeah.
the holy beast
I think this
of
is
the
the first.
Septeria
I think
time.
Mare's the key.
So I
Mare's
So I
don't-
think this is
definitely
the
key.
Yeah.
first. I think this is the first loop with Mare.
But I also
Okay.
I wonder
be.
though, like I think Van has existed in fewer loops than several of the other people in this cast, just
I would-
based on
I
Yeah,
hadn't
I
considered
would-
that, but maybe
I would
because
buy-
we
I
don't
would
know his
buy that.
origin.
No,
Yeah.
we
Like,
we
don't.
don't know
But
his
we know
parents.
he's
Yeah.
connected to that particular devil that was not
Yes.
present
So-
in all
Yes.
of the loops.
Yeah.
This is just a crazy theory, but I'm just thinking like
I like the theory.
I wonder like how that's connected, because that information would not have been told for no reason. Like why
Right.
say
True.
like, oh, these
true.
72 devils existed and then these 5 were added after some kind of event. I wonder what that is. And so it's like
I wonder that maybe that was the purpose of the cult.
The DG cult
Oh.
like
the DG
another
or the other cult? The
No, DG
A,
cult.
or A, whatever it's the other one.
Yeah,
Oh,
the DG,
Ultradon?
the DG cult,
Yeah.
the DG cult was their
too many
purpose.
colons and periods and letters.
One of their purposes was to create somebody
A higher
like
being.
this, a higher being that's able to get them out of the loop. So maybe they know. Maybe someone in the
Maybe
DG
they
cult
created
knew
Van.
that. Maybe that's
I
maybe Van is a product of that in certain loops.
my
Well,
thought,
they-
my thought process is just in general is that if we keep on like adding like potential connections to past big like things that we know about, it's like, how did we not learn about this sooner? That's like kind of my mentality, if that makes sense. If the DG cult was really doing that, like we would have found out about the loops prior to this game. Like that's my mindset. I don't know if
Well,
anyone
only
else is-
only a few people know. So like only maybe like you're talking about like maybe 1 or 2 people in like maybe one person at the DG cult who's like a mastermind who understands why they're doing the things they're doing. To them, they're just doing crazy experiments. But to somebody who knows the loops could be like, well, I'm pushing them in a direction of doing these things. So like to normal people, they're like, this is atrocities. These are things that are happening, but they're not tied to anything greater because they don't understand it. There's no concept of that.
That's fair.
Right.
Yeah, I guess to just sum all of that up, I just don't know. I think there's going to be something because Van exists in this loop and he's not existed in all of them. Like he's going to be a key to like why perhaps eventually they succeed. And it's connected.
He's got to be. He's making the MC.
Right. Obviously that. But like, I think there's like some explanation there. And I do think the reason that he's housing that core is significant. Like, I don't know why that information was revealed otherwise. And so I'm interested.
That's fair. I forgot about that info.
Interwoven.
It's like the same with like Reen having his like ogre powers and stuff. Like there's definitely a bigger reason for that than just like, hey, main character's got cool powers, you know?
Right.
Yeah, especially since like Reen's power is similar to McBurn's. And so like, and McBurn's power is from somewhere outside of
somewhere else.
Zemuria.
Yeah, somewhere else. So like for Reen to get it, and we don't know where Reen got it from, there must have been something. Maybe Reen is from a different loop as well.
Or it was inserted in him. Or, I don't know.
But like whoever inserted in him had to have been from outside
from a different loop, probably.
Like from a different loop or outside of Zemuria. Like, because this is like an external.
Yeah, I think we are battling two different things. What's out beyond Zemuria's borders, and also
in, like,
different time.
Because there's also Reset, right? There's Reset as well.
Yeah.
Which Brandon, when he messaged me the other,
I was like, I couldn't believe this.
He messaged me like weeks ago, and he was just like, hey. He's like, now that we know everything about Reset and how she comes from the future, her name.
This is a game about all these resets happening.
No.
And her name is freaking Reset.
What?
This whole time.
It was right there.
This whole time, the name is right there. Like
I was like,
trying to
come
tell
on,
us.
guys, don't do this to me. But
no, that's
yeah.
It's like George Gnome all over again.
But also, how could she be in the same time loop from the future when her present self,
when
by
time
another name,
resets,
is still there?
Yeah, that's super interesting.
Well,
that there is a future.
Like, is that not explained by like her being preserved in the capsule and them finding her?
It is, but I'm just wondering. There's all these paradoxes with time travel stuff. I'm just wondering if we're going to encounter some of these butterfly effects or time travels.
It is 100% based on how Falcom approaches time as a concept.
Time travel.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's the thing. That's the thing that I'm like, big Kingdom Hearts fan. I really hated when they introduced time travel. Spoilers for Kingdom Hearts, but they eventually introduced time travel, and it really throws the series in a negative
direction, right?
Yeah, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think it's hard to do it right.
It's really hard.
Yeah, it's like,
you have to really think about it. Like 13 Sentinels did it right, but that game was crazy.
But
and that's just a complex, nice game. This is so getting really big.
It is really hard to tell a long-term story and introduce time travel somewhere that's not the beginning, right? Time travel,
that's true.
Because it's just like, what are the rules?
Like, look at Chrono Trigger.
The time travel.
They set the rules pretty.
Right.
Exactly. And
there.
so
I mean,
you have to be very meticulous.
Like it's like going back to the future technology thing though, like they obviously have been planning for it, right? So like I'm more optimistic that they will be able to pull it off, like just because they have given it obviously so much thought up until now. And I guess the way I see Reset is like there is a future outside of the loops, right? Whether that means that at some point they will be successful and the loops will end and time will continue, or that there was a future and this subterranean of time was inserted into the timeline, after the fact later on and created these loops. So time moves to a point and then loops back, moves back.
Yeah.
I thought she was just in a loop that lasted longer.
It could be that. But like,
how?
We know that they're pulling future technology from presumably way in the future.
Right.
Yeah. So messing with the stuff in the space, right? That made the loops shorter. So maybe there was a different thing they could have done to make it longer.
That's what I'm wondering.
Well, that was like very long.
That's 100% what Ouroboros is doing.
Yes.
Is all of their plans were shown to lengthen the time before the loop would happen.
Yes, that's why we had like the stuff in Cold Steel. Like they mentioned that, all of that.
The Phantasmal Blaze and the Zero, whatever.
It was all Phantasmal Blaze, I think.
It's interesting to me. Like they talk about their plan, the Orpheus final plan, and like Orpheus, I think is like it's a Greek myth, right?
It is.
Where he's like like journeying to the underworld to like save his wife who's been imprisoned there, and like that's kind of the main thing I think for Orpheus. So it's like if they're naming it that.
It's about resurrection.
If Falcom is naming it that, there has to be there's
a reason
for it.
Yeah.
And so it's like there hints at some greater goal that they have. You know, solving the loops is probably a means to an end. I think there's probably more to it than that. I wanted to talk about the Garten because that, to me, starting with Daybreak 2, was like the thing that activated my imagination the most. Like, if for no other reason in the beginning, then it's clear that the Garten is just Nayuta. Like the world of the American Garten is just Nayuta. Like that is, if you play Nayuta, the things that you do, the sorts of things you encounter in the Garten that's what you do in Nayuta.
The crystals and stuff.
Crystals
the
are
crystals,
exactly
the missions you have to do are the same.
The requirements for the stages to get stars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The fairies, right? Like the fairies being present and being such a key part of the main story and being connected to the Garten. Like that to me is started to show how Nayuta fits in to the series.
And maybe Mare Bear?
And Mare being a fairy, you know, presumably a being from this other plane or whatever. And so it's like, we know that the Garten is a way to access, if nothing else, information about previous loops, right? Because Novartis is in there trying to get it.
Sure.
Yeah. I wonder if the Garten is like a way to travel between them, or I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say. But
so
like,
is there more implications? Those who made the Garten, what's the technology company? Marduk,
yeah.
Marduk. So do they know more? Because they were there the entire time.
I think
like
the head guy knows.
I think
Thorndike
Gilliam
is definitely outside of the loops. He definitely knows.
He knows way too much, and he was involved in all of those plans.
Yes.
So I think
and designing that Garten for a reason, having them do all those trial runs to train or whatever. There's some reason.
I'm pretty sure that Falcom are Tetsuya Takahashi fans.
Yes, I was going to say.
Because Thorndike is just Wilhelm. He like immediately reminds me of Wilhelm from Xenosaga. Like he's the same character. He might as well be the same character. I love that. I think that's a great homage.
Well, they said they're very big fans of Takahashi-san.
Oh, they have said that. Okay, I just assumed. But like, yeah.
I think they're fans of Xenogears and the Xeno world. So I think.
I love that the final boss of... I noticed it in the Sky, the first chapter, the original game. The final boss is just basically Lavos from Chrono Trigger, the final form of Lavos. It's the same pieces, the same like... And the music even was like felt very reminiscent. So I was like, I bet they like this team that makes these Chrono and Xeno games. But anyway, yeah, the Garten is super interesting to me because of kind of what it implies, the connections it implies between things. I don't know what you guys thought about that.
It could serve as a portal, perhaps, to go beyond. Because I always saw Nayuta as like a part of the world that was not that's like trapped. Like they can't go beyond because of the Septarian of time. And perhaps the world of Nayuta is something that is beyond,
outside
something that's being blocked.
Yes, that they just can't. Because like. I don't know.
They've been trying to communicate.
Yeah. And so I just wonder if that is like their attempt to try to see if maybe there's a solution or a part of the solution.
And what's making it so that Mare, when she does say things, it's blurred out? It's because
like,
it's just not all that realm.
Their minds can't comprehend it. Right.
Like it's a
comprehend that is.
So I wonder if like she and then all of the things that kind of remind us or relate to Nayuta are beyond what they can know and see from the Septarian of time blocking it all. So
well, and like and it's different than Nina, right? When Nina came, she spoke a different language, which was weird because nobody speaks a different language. But it wasn't like people couldn't hear her. It wasn't like they were
right. It wasn't blocked out.
It wasn't blocked out. She just spoke a different language.
Unless
so
she purposely didn't choose certain words that could be blocked out. But
possibly, yeah. She may not.
Yeah.
She was a kid. She may not have known, whatever. She may not have had that information anyway.
Yeah.
So I think it's clear that people beyond speak a different language, but I wonder if Mare is maybe even something more than that. And like, Like, because the world of Nayuta is, I don't know if I should say this. This is a spoiler cast for Beyond the Horizon, not for Nayuta.
I haven't played Nayuta.
You just warn people.
All
right,
I won't say it either, but I'm okay being spoiled.
I won't. If Cam, no, I won't spoil it.
You don't have to for Cam.
There are reasons based on what you learn about the world in Nayuta that make me think that it couldn't be just what's beyond. I mean, I guess it could be, but it throws that into question.
I can
but
see
yeah,
that.
I actually have this is something I wanted to talk about in general, but I think this is a good point to it. Is that like when we go to space in the finale, it looks weird. Does not look weird to y'all. It looks like that it's like encapsulated.
Yep.
Yes.
There's
That's
no
why
star. It's just like
they're trapped
They're trapped
by that Septarian. Like they cannot go past the certain point.
And so it's just like Adios, like why would Adios do that? Like, you know what I mean? Like
that's the
Is
question
Adios,
of the
though?
series.
That's the question.
Like,
Why
is it Adios?
What is
Why did
Adios?
she drop off all these Septarians that just cause nothing but issues for people?
Like who is Adios and why did she do this? Because like there's a whole reason to why this is all happening, and like we just don't know. But we learned that like
Amelia's going to have more of a role trying to break those barriers. She's got it, right?
I hope so.
I hope so.
I would love to have a route as her where she tries to really get into the space part of it and launch an attack. So
I like Amelia a lot. I think her role is fulfilled, y'all. I don't think
it's done?
I don't think we're gonna get.
Why would they give her so much mystery though, and just to have her in that short little?
Because they wanted to hold their cards until they needed to show them.
I just feel like they, with the whole Hermes thing.
Oh, I get you.
So much hype up. Like it just seems like wasted potential. That's all she does.
I don't particularly disagree with you, but I also I'm not saying that we can't have stuff.
I think she's going to join Arkwright Solutions.
I think she's going to be a party member at minimum. I do think she's going to be a party member in this next game. I think it was a loss that she wasn't this time. I think she's going to be.
She's going to join the gang. We're going to have a bigger gang.
It's just going to grow.
Again, I like Amelia a lot.
We're two vans.
I don't know.
Two vans to truck everyone along.
I know.
But I just
get a
I don't remember who I talked to about this. And it might be someone here. If not, it might have been one or two people I talked to on the side about Trails as well. But someone had a theory on what the Septarian of Time Guardian is. Because we still don't know what that is or who it is. And I feel like they told me that they think it might be Mare Bear.
Oh, I think that. I think
is that you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I don't know. Well, I don't know. I said it just a few minutes ago. But there was a lot of conversation.
I was definitely
happening.
looking up that exact information. So I did not.
No, you're good. You're good. I think she could be.
Yeah, I was just like,
possibly.
That is an interesting theory. There's a lot to go off of there. So
have we met all the Septarians though? Of the different?
No.
We've
Wind
not encountered
and
wind and water yet.
It's wind and water,
and those are the ones that will be left. Space is sky. Mirage is Crossbell. Earth and fire are Cold Steel, and then time is Calvard. So after this, we'll have two, and it'll be wind and water.
Just wind and water seemed kind of lame to end with. I'm just surprised with that.
I wonder about that too, because time. This almost feels like what the ending.
Time and space is more interesting, right?
But
the ending will be Captain Planet.
Okay. I do wonder how they're going to top some of this stuff with wind and water.
Or Mirage. Maybe more Mirage. I don't know. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, Mirage was Crossbell.
It was Crossbell, but would they bring them back again?
I don't know. It's an interesting thought because I'm what are they going to do with wind and water that's just as interesting? But you never know.
I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe Adios comes back and we
gotta fight God.
I mean, Hamilton is pulling all that water for the desert
That's
from
true.
somewhere.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I do wonder if it'll connect to that in some way. But yeah, I can totally understand that concern because I've thought the same thing. What are they going to do with wind and water? That's just as interesting.
Is there some stuff that we haven't been introduced to yet that just comes out of nowhere? That'd be weird.
That would be weird.
Yeah.
I think that would be weird, maybe. Mm-hmm. Or they fuse together to become something.
Well, that's what happened with Cold Steel. Because that's how fire and earth fused into steel, and that's how we got that one. So I wonder if they'll do the same thing with wind and water.
Maybe.
It's a good question.
So I wonder with the next game, as we go through the reset, how much of Daybreak will we have to replay?
I wonder
Like, well,
that
how will they kind of like go through like Almada and all these different things that are happening within Daybreak 1 and 2, the loop of it all.
Yeah.
I wonder
What
if
the structure of the game is going to be. Yeah.
That's a
I
good
wonder if
question.
It's gonna be
everyone,
like Reverie.
yeah, because like you have the vestiges,
Reverie makes the most
and
sense.
one of the vestiges is Melchior. And so like I wonder like if there's going to be something that's going to, because like he's still going to be around. In
but
this
the
next
only
loop,
reason,
but
the only reason Van gets involved with all that is because Agnes shows up at his door and says, "Hey, help
she's
me
not
find
going to
these
be there.
things."
She's not going to be there. But I think some memories are going to remain, like you were saying.
Some things are gonna, there's gonna be vestiges.
And
not
we're
those
going
kinds,
to try
but
to
you know what I
like
mean?
resurrect Agnes. I don't know, because
I-
that's going back to the whole Greek myth that we were talking about.
Yeah,
Right.
I do think
All that's about resurrection.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to really even play out like Daybreak 1 at all. I think
it's
we're
gonna be
gonna.
very different.
I think it's gonna be we're entering in that specific time, but how the events unfold are going to be different.
Yeah, it's going to be
because it's
different.
not a completely new loop, but it's like that loop got pushed back. So how is the rest of that loop going to play out, and is that going to be the last loop?
It's going to have to be.
So yeah,
It has
Well,
to be
two
now.
things. I think based off what y'all are saying, I think that the game is literally just going to start off from where it ended, but Agnes just doesn't exist. It's just gonna there's gonna be some sort of stuff that comes into play. Don't know how it's gonna be introduced, but it's going
And they're
to be
going to forget about her.
But it's like, yeah, she just does not exist. We might see like pretty early on that Van is getting like flashes of like Agnes or like the old
events that
loop.
have happened.
Yeah, before the save state. Also, it was one of my friends that I was talking to about the Time Beast thing. And we kind of touched upon this. I'm pretty sure it was you, Max, as well, saying that speaking of the Yume stuff, I think it was literally for Mare to perceive her sacrifice, Agnes' sacrifice, so it can be reverted later.
Recorded. So she's recording it, Mare.
Yeah.
And do you think
I
because
think
of
it's
that knowledge
clear
we
that Mare
revert it?
is the Time Beast.
Yeah, I think she
Yeah.
is, and I think that's what she's doing.
That's fair.
So that
think
plays
that's
into like
interesting.
Yume then feeding
Yes.
Van
Yes.
this information next go around.
Like
Yes.
this
Through
is
Mare.
what
Probably.
this is what's happened, and this is what we've got to fix it.
And I think
Why
it's
should she choose Yume? I wonder. I guess because she just happened to be there
Impressionable.
at the right time.
Yeah,
I think she's already served as a
malleable
host
mind.
before as well. Like she was
Yeah.
already
She
a
was.
host in the first game.
Well, I think she intentionally chose her, right? It's not for the reasons she gave back.
Maybe
in
she
that
knew
game.
something that we didn't know.
Yeah.
I
maybe
think
this
so.
is-
Yeah.
She's
But,
seen
If she
the
was
loop
connected
play
to the
out, too.
Septarian, then yeah, she probably knows everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably.
So she's probably like she's
So-
going to be here at this moment in time.
Yeah, she knows exactly.
But
It's
the thing
interesting-
that-
Go ahead.
The thing that's confusing to me though is other guardians of the other Septarians have been able to say, "I'm a guardian of the Septarian," but when Mare tries to say, "I am
It's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
it's because
So,
she's from the other plane,
maybe
and she's
I
like
think it's the
a fairy.
I don't know.
Septarian stopping.
I think the
stopping
Septarian, because
It could be.
her being the guardian, because like this Septarian is like very much a big deal in terms of like it is tied to this whole like the world, and so like they really don't want to show this off. They
And
don't
the
wanna-
Septarian itself doesn't want to influence the outcome,
Exactly.
maybe, and so
Right.
like she
Yes.
can't say anything that might influence the outcome.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's
and
maybe-
that would big time for sure. So.
Yeah.
and that kind of like I wonder because not influencing the outcome. I like the idea of that because maybe this is a challenge for human like mankind in this place. So that's why they never messed with the president. Like the church never like Kevin never went after Roy.
Politics.
Even though he was trying to do the same things as Hamilton in a way.
In a
he was
different way, yeah.
In a
Yeah.
different
I
way.
think
He was his
the thing is, I think he didn't cross the line going into different dimensions and bring water, for example.
but he was doing
church
he was doing
and
things that were going
government
to change
politics.
everything.
He did, but it wasn't like he was. I think his methods weren't as egregious.
The reason that I understand why Kevin was going after Hamilton was for a specific heresy.
Yeah,
right? She
heresy.
was misusing, quote unquote, misusing an artifact,
Yes.
and that
Yes.
is like a punishable by death offense.
Yeah.
That was my
But number one,
understanding of it.
I think
Okay.
that's
Yeah,
I think
that's what I
that's
thought.
correct too. Like it was like, okay, we got her, you know.
Like
Yeah.
we
We
have
know she's
evidence
doing
against
this.
you, therefore
Yes.
we can
Yeah.
be the executioner.
Yeah.
And I think just
No
like
question.
Ouroboros was happy to let Gramhart try his thing.
Yeah.
Because they're working towards the same goal in very
Exactly.
different
Yeah.
ways. But Ouroboros and the church, I think, were like, hey, bro, sounds good.
Good luck.
Give it a shot. Like,
you do you.
maybe.
Good luck.
You know, if it works, great. If not, well, you know, we'll figure something else out. So
Let's keep doing our thing.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll continue doing Ouroboros stuff.
Yeah, and I also think that just because with the time beast stuff is just that like the Septarian of time is actually has like a specific goal or like purpose, like as to why it exists, while like the other ones, like they have abilities but they're not like, they're more weapons, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so like that's probably why like because there you can make an argument that the other like this that the Guardians and that we've seen before, like Zeet, like is kind of like working against the Septarian of Mirage and like later the Septarian of Zero, but like the Septarian doesn't like stop him from helping the SSS, right? Like, and so I think that it's more like there's a sentient aspect of the Septarian of time specifically that makes it so that like he, it's like saying like not allowing Mare to like speak on
Has more rules.
There
Yeah.
are rules, I think, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
rules around
they
it.
were all
Bye-bye.
created to do different things, and with this purpose, like the Septarian of Time is like recording, like
It's measuring
observing.
something.
Yes, the sin index or whatever.
Yeah, we don't
that
understand what that
means.
is yet, but it's
and
it's
so
something.
it almost just seems more like analytical. Whereas when you think about like the Septarian of Space and Mirage, like they were both kind of created to help humanity in specific ways, and then of course it got twisted because humans suck sometimes and they like messed it up. Whereas this one, I don't think it was never like a compassionate thing. Like this Septarian is like very much like, I'm analyzing for this purpose, and like I
This
don't
is
want
the
anything to get
judgment.
in the way.
Yeah.
So like I think the difference in purpose explains the difference in how they're handling the holy beasts as well.
Yeah.
Also, I just thought your explanation helped me realize something. The thing with Reset and her getting sent back in time. Initially, the reset wasn't going to happen as quickly as it did. So probably it was just like, oh, like when it's like, oh, I'm not going to activate this reset earlier. I don't think that like would just completely delete the future that was already intended, if that makes sense, for this loop. That's kind of my
Just
theory.
make a parallel loop.
That it's just not even that it's a parallel loop. Is that because like even though like because it was attacked, right? It decided like, oh, instead of resetting in like how many years like
When
in
we're
the
supposed
future,
to,
we're shortening it to 45 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think that like in turn just deleted this future that would have existed, if that makes sense. So I think that
I think the loops are kind of self-contained almost.
I think there is a future that exists outside the loops, and various loops come closer to reaching that future based on how long they persist, but eventually they all end up getting reset. And I just want to throw, I don't know if we said this, I don't recall us saying this, but just another like hint that they've been like dangling in front of us from the literal beginning of the series is like calling it Ouroboros, which is the snake eating its tail and snake continually eating its tail, going around and around.
Infinite.
They're just like all over it from the very
They
beginning.
knew what they were
been.
gonna do. That's crazy to me, but
It's really crazy.
well done, Falcom. Well done.
I know. I'm looking forward to seeing Valmar in the next one too, because he's going to show up.
He's got to come back.
There's going to be cool because like seeing the black Ishmelga at the end, like at the end of this one, you know that like whatever Reen is going to be doing, because like there's a reason why Kafang like told him to come to this specific place at a specific time to keep his memory.
We can see more knights come together.
Probably, because there's how many of
Like
them?
all of them?
Yeah, there might be. I imagine before the end of the series, we'll probably see that. Like that'll be
cool.
part of
Avengers kind of assemble.
Yeah, like a
It's gonna be
Voltron,
crazy.
like a Voltron type thing
a
going.
little bit.
Yeah.
We'll all come together.
I'm curious if like them stopping the Septarian time and breaking out of the cage is what is actually going to like launch the end game in a real way.
The final arc, yeah.
Because
I think it could.
I'm wondering
Yeah.
if like all of these, like the Nayuta world or like McBurn's world or whatever, assuming he's not from Nayuta world, like just all kind of just leak into Zemuria or like the whatever. I'm very curious as to like what will be the repercussions of that.
What's going to happen? You're going to have Adel show up at the end.
I am not kidding. I have
It
been
shouldn't
terrified.
happen, but I would love it.
No, hear me out.
It has DLC form.
An old rugged
costumes.
Adel. We don't have any information past a certain 40 years old. How old was it?
63.
63. So we're probably going to see maybe a rugged, older version of Adel show up.
imagine?
He somehow ended up.
Speak.
I have been terrified of that happening for years. I understand, Cam. You're on board with it. I absolutely do not want that to happen.
It shouldn't happen, but I would be on board. It shouldn't happen, but I would be down.
The world of Ease could
we
be
need some
outside
Tokyo
of there.
Xanadu stuff too, right? Because they had some cold steel. Aren't they just another time loop?
I mean, Toa's in there. Yeah, I
Toa's
don't know.
an alternate Toa.
There you go.
So
Is
I'm just
Kyoto
saying.
Xanadu going to tie in somehow too?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It could.
It's the Falcom multiverse.
I think it's a great thought that whatever happens after the loops stop is going to cause the next major conflict of the next arc.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, we
that
know
might
it's
be.
bad. We know it's bad because
How
you
many
get
games
those
do you
little
think is
bits
gonna
of
happen?
you get those little bits of Reset's childhood in those
Yeah.
little stories.
Oh,
You know,
We need to
yeah.
stop.
We do.
and it's the
awful.
world is bad.
They're on. It's on fire.
Things are
Maybe
awful.
that's
yeah.
the Septarian of Water's nah, I'm not helping.
It's gone.
And-
Yeah, because
The water's
Septarian water
gone.
pieces out.
Hamilton
It's
sucked out all the water
yeah.
It's
so
gone.
for the future.
Oh, that's true.
I don't
one of
know.
those-
It's going to be interesting to see what those conflicts are.
So, do you think there'll be one more game for Calvard?
yes.
How many games for the next arc?
Well, it
Is
depends.
that the last arc?
It depends
I
if they do
think-
an epilogue game, kind of like.
Yeah,
whatever.
I mean, I think this next game, whatever comes after Horizon, whatever it's titled, is the Cold Steel 4 of this arc.
Yeah.
And then I think they could do a bridge game,
Reverie.
Reverie, that kind of ties up Calvert and introduces the next arc. And then after that, I don't know. The next arc, I think would probably be at least 3 games.
If they don't pick up the pace, they're going to have to do a bridge game. For sure.
I think
Yeah.
Falcom has at least 5 more games for the series. At least.
I think 5 at minimum.
Nope.
So
I think
It's
And then
just
also,
starting to
if
get popular,
those remakes
guys.
come into
Don't
it
take your
too,
foot off.
that'd be so interesting.
Well, that's the reason why they're doing this alternate, the new reboots.
The remix, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a remakes, and it's an
They're
alternate.
oh crap! It's getting popular now. We're about to end it.
Exactly.
But how can
do
we
think
stretch this out?
they have to do a bridge game, just because I feel like in that bridge game they need to tie in characters from, let's say, even Estelle and Joshua and things that are happening elsewhere into. Because I feel like the final arc or whatever we end up going into is going to involve everybody.
Yeah.
Well, it has to. The
It
time is
better.
affecting everyone.
Yeah, exactly. So at that point, there needs to be some sort of tying together of what's happening in Erebonia itself, and then also in Liberal.
Can I just say how exciting it is to be a Trails fan?
I know.
Great
So
time.
exciting.
What a time to be
Isn't it?
alive.
If
This
if
is
Gung
I know,
Ho is
thriving. I can't believe
So
it.
thriving.
if Gung Ho is responsible for the dialogue of Estelle learning about the time loops, do you know what she's going to say?
Oh no.
I don't want
Not
to
ultra violence.
What?
I had to. I was narrating
That's
the first
cheeky.
chapter all the time. She would always say, "What?
What?
What?"
Wait, I don't want to end on a downer.
No,
They just really missed the point.
I mean, I think, is there any part of the ending that we haven't discussed, or is there what have we missed?
There's
as
so
far
many
as-
more things we could discuss, but I think we did touch the major big things. I'd love to hear those who've been listening to our spoiler cast, though. What are some of your theories? What are things that
Throw them.
some details we maybe didn't discuss?
Yeah.
This is
elaborate a bit more on their
spoiler
implications.
Safe space.
Yeah.
Oh, spoilers! Please give us
All
all
the
the spoilers.
Yeah, when I say
Yeah.
safe space, I mean there are spoilers,
Yeah.
and you can put them out here, and it's fine.
Yes,
Because you shouldn't be watching this video if you don't want them or don't have them.
I want your every crazy thought that you might have,
Give it to us.
just give it, because
Yes,
like that's what we
all
did
the
most of this
theories.
episode, is just spitting out like random
Pour out the
theories.
insanity, which
Yeah.
I mean,
Just
some of it's
break
got
out
a
the
chance to
tin
come in true.
foil,
So.
Yeah.
unroll it,
Just
put it on your
fangirling
head.
all over it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
All the
We went all
implications.
out. Oh man. But I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anything major we haven't really talked about. I think we touched upon
I think
just
the big ones.
about everything.
Yeah,
I'm just.
I just hope our Calvert cast gets a happy ending. You know?
Yeah,
I do.
I do.
I do.
They've been through so much.
I'm just
I hope- I
really
think
kind
they
of
will.
curious about the series at large moving forward, just because
Yeah.
there's like,
This is
but
a
you know,
good
we
point.
didn't like we didn't really like talk about it a whole lot, but like, you know, Ouroboros like it feels like that they're not. It feels like that they're not like the main threat right now, especially in this arc.
No.
But like,
Yeah.
They might be
they've
the
been
heroes.
break.
achieving all of their goals the entire series, like, and you know, they're gonna
They're on track.
defeat the time
Yeah.
Septarian, and they're gonna be like, dope, thanks for doing that for us. Now we just got
They-
two more. And then they have some
yeah.
sort of grand plan at the end of that, like, you know, whatever that may be. And then again,
Yeah.
Adios, like the church, like what the is going on over there?
What's
Like,
going on?
Yeah.
It's
I want to
a good
know.
question.
I can't wait to learn about the church more and
Me too.
Yeah,
get some more insight on that world.
I would honestly love, like, if we got, and I don't know if we ever will, but like, I would love an arc or at least a game dedicated to that.
Yeah.
I would too. I
I just think
I've
there's just
always
so
wanted a
much
church
there.
game.
There's like so much potential for
Well,
like lore.
Gaius, they keep
and
talking about
everything.
Gaius at the church. We need
Yeah.
to know more about Gaius.
Well, I
as
think he's
the
gonna
church
be-
guy.
I think
I
he's
think
going to
he's-
be in this next game.
I think he's going to be in the
He'll
next
have to
one.
be.
And I
Yeah.
think there's going to be extra character. So, like, I don't know who's going to come from the Reen side of things. I know people
Outside of
online were
Gaius.
talking
I think,
about,
uh,
like,
Alyssa.
I think Elisa's coming.
Alyssa?
I think
Alyssa?
Elisa's coming because she was
Honestly-
mentioned so many times in that route.
I hope so. I
It's
think
true.
she needs
I
she
want
needs some
yeah.
something more
Bring her back,
going on
please.
for her.
she needs a redemption arc
A little
for her
like
character.
not for her character, just like a
I'm
redemption
not going
arc
to get into
of
that.
how
This is not the
she
place for that. I
a
just
redemption
wanted to
arc of
come
how
back.
she's characterized in the games. You know, that's what I want.
Yeah, we'll
That was
probably
just her
It's
get-
justice.
okay. You have to admit, they did not give her enough love in the last
They didn't give
few
her love.
games.
I'm like,
No,
they just
not
wrote
in,
her off. I'm like,
not
okay.
in Reverie
kind of-
at all. Like
Yeah.
I will
In
agree
Reverie,
with that. So like I
like,
would
they
love
just,
for
like-
her to come back.
she needs, like, yeah, she needs to come back in, like,
She
a
needs
big
more
way.
screen time.
Like, her,
Yeah.
a very big, she needs a bigger
Do
personality.
you guys think that the figures that they've been choosing have big implications?
I was
because Laura
wondering
and
that, too.
Lisa are getting
Yeah.
figures now from Code
That
of
would
Kyo.
be cool.
That's true.
If
That
that's
is
the
true.
case. Also,
Laura,
I like some more
too.
Laura.
I would love
Laura.
Laura, best girl, to come back. Let's go.
Laura's my fave.
Sword's too small though on that figure. It needs to be bigger.
I was actually
first
surprised
person
it
that
wasn't
I've heard
as big
that
as
Yeah.
And I
right,
can
especially
see-
after like Reese's figure. Like that one's huge.
Yeah.
I can see, like, for a character who'd come back, I could
true.
see Elliot too. Just him being, like, kind of traveling
has
around.
a
He has, like, an
role,
easy,
yeah.
like, it's easy for him to kind of
Yeah.
get around.
I
being
think
like a
Ellie
Are we done with
violinist.
the witches?
is going to come back.
No more witches?
I would love to have
Ellie,
Emma.
Emma would
Yeah.
be. Yeah, the witches kind of. I don't know if they served their purpose being just
Yeah.
related to the steel, you know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But it would be cool to have a little more with them.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like all of my favorite Cold Steel characters came back already, so I'm like good. So
content.
I'm just
No.
I'm down for whatever
Not
they
me,
want.
dog.
I'm not
Not me.
content.
I'm not
I
with you
need
there.
some more
No,
people.
no content.
Yeah.
Bring me
I like some
Elisa.
more
Give me Laura. Give me
For me,
Elisa.
it's Crow, and Toa, and I was like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah,
I'm good.
don't care about them.
Well, good for you.
You
We
took
still
care
need
of
more
me.
of them.
I like Fee a lot more. I do like Fee a lot. Like
I
a
like
lot. Like
Fee
I
a
like
lot.
Fee way more than I did. Like when
Yeah.
she first two Cold Steel games, I was like, whatever. But like now, I really like Fee. But like,
Yeah, Fee's a lot
Crow.
better
I
now.
never.
I didn't need more Crow. Don't come
Yeah,
for me in the
don't really
comments
care
or
about
do. I don't
Crow.
care. I didn't need more Crow.
My
But
boy.
We'll see.
You're my
For me,
boy.
I want the bracers to have more of an impact.
Yeah.
I feel like
Me
they've been
too.
sidelined
They're my
Yeah.
favorite
in
faction.
the crossbell or
and
the Calvert
Oh,
arc.
can we just
Yeah.
shout
They're
out
not
really quick
impactful.
because we got a little bit of Sky rep in this game. The going to Jin's master's place. Hell, yeah,
That
that,
was
payoff
so
was
good.
awesome.
that was such
Also,
a
he's
good
finally
moment.
S rank after
Yes,
not
and
wanting
he's
to take it.
I know.
finally.
Finally.
He was forced into it.
Yeah.
was forced to
At
do
least
it.
they said his name right in this game. Also,
Yes.
Yeah.
Needs
They
to sit with
managed
that.
to
So
they managed
yes.
to pull that off.
Yeah.
Good job.
But I really love
Good
those
job.
moments with him and Keelika.
That's what we
and
call
Walter.
damning with faint praise. Sorry, gung ho.
I thought like wait, okay, I don't even remember. I don't even know at this point. But like I always called him I think Jin from the from when I played initially.
Yeah.
And then it was Jin in Daybreak, and I was like, I don't like that. I'm sorry, I don't like that. But like, it's,
like Zin?
I called him Zin because I didn't know that it was pronounced
Oh
differently.
yeah, it was Zin. Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't
Zin.
either.
I said Zin, and then it was Jin. I'm like,
Jin.
I got to be real with you though. I'm a Zane guy initially because I played
I
it
knew
on
that
the
was
PSP.
going to be brought up. I was like,
And it
someone's
was
going to
Zane.
say Zane.
Really?
So that was hard. That was a hard
Zane.
pill for me to
I
swallow.
know.
Yeah.
That was the original.
That was.
Yeah,
It's
no,
true.
I've always been Zin, and then it was like Jin. I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't really care.
It doesn't matter really.
Yeah.
It's just something to poke fun of. At
Yeah,
the
it's
fun to, yeah, it's just
localization
fun
trends.
to tease.
And just that there's like differences in both of them, and it's like, why?
Yeah,
Why?
the differences that don't need to be there for
Right.
sure.
If only they had some kind of way of knowing how it was pronounced.
If only.
Yeah.
If only they had some
like the other games.
method of figuring it out.
Several pieces of media that could have,
Only, yeah, I don't. It's a real shame. Anyway.
we were
We
going to
should
end on
probably
a
wrap this.
positive note,
We should
right?
probably
We
wrap this
were.
up. The positive note is that this is a great game. This is an amazing series.
Yes.
Holy crap.
We are
you guys.
so happy and so excited for what's to
Yeah.
come.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cannot wait.
It
Even
is
so good.
excellence. All of you who are listening / watching to this, if you aren't already, be sure that you go and subscribe to Party Chat and Level Up Legacy. Like,
Do it.
do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
I listen to these
Like
shows
listening
on
to
the
us.
regular. So, like, yeah, do it.
Listen to them.
And
They're
follow
all Trails
these
fans.
fine
They're all
folks
great.
on social media. We'll put everybody's social media in the description there.
We all talk about trails on social media, so
We do
definitely
talk about
All
Trails
the
quite a bit.
time.
All the time.
in a positive light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not so toxic. So
We're not
No, we
nasty
are
and
not
weird.
toxic.
No,
we're cool. Chat with us. We like talking about our favorites.
we do.
We do.
We do. Well, thanks again, Cam, Mags, for joining us.
Thanks for
This
having
was even more fun than I
Yeah.
thought it would be, and I already knew it would be fun.
So much fun.
It was.
Some of your relations.
Yeah.
I love theory.
I
Yeah.
know.
Theory crafting.
Just
so
Yeah,
fun.
no, I was like,
I feel like a
could've-
weight has
I
been
could've sat
lifted
here
off
for-
of me.
I could have sat
I
here for
know.
another
If I
2
didn't
hours.
have to, I had like a bunch of water as we were filming this. If I didn't have to run to the bathroom, like you're going to see a cartoon cloud of dust in the shape of me in a second. That's going to be me having just dashed to the bathroom after here. But yeah, I could keep going all night. I love it so much. But yeah, thanks
Yeah.
everybody for watching, and we'll catch you next time. All right.
Yeah. On the next Spoilercast, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye bye.